Are you
Hey,
happy
Relic.
because you got Taco Bell?
You're from Florida, right?
I'm living in Florida, yeah.
Relic, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
Can
you're
you hear
from
me?
Florida, right?
Yeah.
I have a
Well, like,
question. This is an
live here.
old lore for the average boys with me and Brian. Do you guys do like pickles and popcorn and shit at movie theaters? Like, is pickles a thing?
No. What the freak?
Oh no, is so, dude? It is
See,
just a Texas thing.
I told you.
What about like the fucking like Piccadilly's and like um pickles with like Kool-Aid or pickles with I don't know, like with
That's nasty shit,
What?
bro.
That sounds
yeah, I'm
awful.
not a big fan of it. It tastes like really
What kind of
fucking
people are you hanging out with, man? What the
Pickles
freak?
and Kool-Aid?
mezquins, bro. Mezquins.
Look, I live here. I've been living here for a good amount of time, but I'm from Brazil, so I'm not. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we
if
got to
it-
talk about this guy.
Yeah, y'all got all that good food down there in Texas, and
Yeah.
you guys resolved to fucking pickles and fucking Kool-Aid.
popcorn. Here we go. Here we go. What is up? Welcome back. Welcome back. It is Sunday night here on the Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and we're here with one of the OGs, Brian D from New Jersey. What's up? What's up? And of course, we got reoccurring guest and homie, unofficial, official Average Boys, practically the last Relic. Relic, how you doing, my man?
Always doing good, baby.
Good. Derpy isn't able to join us today. Got a message. His Wi-Fi is kind of acting up, so he doesn't want to risk it coming in and out. We love him. We love him. We hate him. We love to hate him. But we'll get it. We'll get him. We'll get him back on the show soon. The boys a treat. But boys, look, am I vile in the comment section, dude?
He's the one that talked
popcorn
about the
and
pickle stuff.
is the shit, and flaming hots.
No.
So wait. So what is the extent? Okay, me and Brian have had this conversation, fucking in depth for no reason. What's up, Alloway? What's up? Nice to see you. Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, am I vile's from the valley? He knows.
He's
He
from
knows.
the valley.
He's from here. Yeah, he's from here. What is the extent of pickles for you guys? No, Brian is from New Jersey and is in New Jersey right now, but he's been to the valley. He's been down. He's familiar,
down.
you know.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. So what's the extent for pickles for you guys when it comes to like snack, right? Because pickles is a snack. You go to like a baseball game or a football game, they sell it in the stadiums or whatever. What's the extent? Like, what do you guys do?
Like me?
I'm gonna let Relic.
Yeah, I'm gonna let because then Brian was like,
I don't fuck with
Brian
pickles
was
at
in the
all, dog.
mentality
Dude,
of like,
okay,
yo,
yeah.
fuck pickles, man.
First of all, I think at the most I'll see pickles in a hot dog, and that's it.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, Brian made a face.
and I won't
Kosher,
even have
no,
pickles
sir.
in my Big Mac, dude. Like, I'm not a fan of pickles, but also like culturally, I've never seen somebody just grab a pickle and eat it like a snack. Like that's
Brian, you neither.
like,
that's
that's
kind of
like
like your
serial
thing
killer
too, right?
vibes
That's
to
like
me,
a
dude.
thing
Like,
that they
that's
don't do up
weird.
there in the upper
No,
states.
I
right?
mean, I listen. I get it. I understand the fascination with some people in pickles. For me, it's just not my thing. It's not my thing. When if I'm going to the movies, there's so many fucking options I have. The last thing I'm gonna want is something
pickle.
like that, bro.
Look,
Yeah,
I
it's
get
just
I
not
get
my
the
thing.
point of like something salty, and you have a drink so that you don't have to go to the bathroom as much.
Okay.
But other like I don't know, man. Candy, popcorn, a drink. Like I don't
Yeah.
think pickles in a movie.
Yeah,
Let's
I
get
think
pickles in a movie. Like,
listen, give me some Sour Patch Kids, some popcorn,
yeah.
a slushy, and I'm good to go, man. I'll leave all the pickles for you guys. You guys can have all that.
That's so interesting because, like, almost in every Hispanic snack here in South Texas, you'll find them using pickles as some way to kind of put it in there with some type of chili or some type of chamoy, something that they can add to it, but nonetheless, in that factor, it kind of goes off with
But like
like
a spicy thing.
I don't know. It's weird. No, it's got to be. Well, spicy is one part because a lot of foods have to deal with like the hot stuff, right? But
Yeah,
even
yeah,
though
yeah.
like you look at the hot sauce compared to here, and you consider it to like a curry or like Korean, what's the gochujang or what is it? The stuff that they use.
Got you there.
Like it's
He said,
other
yeah.
stuff is super hot compared to what we use.
Dude,
Ours is
like
more like a sweet hot, and then there's like the acidic of using the sourness from pickles to break down the acidity.
my wife, she likes pickles, but it isn't like she makes. So she's from South Korea, right?
I remember.
But it's not. For those who don't know, but it's not. I don't think she's ever made a meal with pickles, ever since we've
That's
been
good.
married.
I
Ever.
wouldn't really consider it a meal.
No,
Like you said,
like pickles
burgers and
in a
things like
meal,
that.
like anything like pickles in there. Like I don't think
Yeah,
we've even bought pickles since we've known each other.
even like a moderate snack or something, like I said. So like a lot of the snack, like let's say at the very base minimum of what they use for pickles down here would be like a diced pickle. You just dice it up in a bunch of little slices, like hamburger slices, and then you eat it
Isn't that
with
like
popcorn.
relish?
No, no, that's
Wait, on
like
popcorn?
no, not
Pickles on
like separate.
popcorn?
Like you can kind of have popcorn like on the side, like in a mound, like pickles and popcorn. And then
Like
while
a
you're eating your
like a
pickle, while
dip?
you're eating your popcorn, you're using the pickle to knock down the sodium, the salt taste.
Look, that doesn't appeal to me. I'm not gonna hate on it because I have no idea. But I, if you ask me if we're gonna do that, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, one day if you guys ever give it a try, you should do it. Yeah. You don't have to go anything deeper than that. Just buy your favorite popcorn, butter flavor, and dice up some pickles a little bit. And just like every time you eat like one pickle, grab a little handful of popcorn and just check out how the sodium breaks down the flavoring of the sourness. Dude, it's interesting. It really is.
I'm gonna leave that to Relic. I'm not even gonna blow smoke up your ass. There is zero shot I'm ever trying that. It's never gonna
Brian,
happen.
you haven't even
You
have
listen,
not.
listen. I get it. I understand. You did an excellent job selling me on it, but
There you
it's
go.
just gonna
There you
be
go.
it's gonna be a hard no for me, man. I'm gonna
No,
leave
I'm
it
a
to you guys in the
salesman.
valley,
What's up,
man.
David? Good to see
If
you,
I'm
brother.
like, let's say if I go to with Amityville, if I go to his like watch a movie with him and he does it, I'm like, all right, I'll take a dip. That's it.
Yeah, as courtesy.
But like,
'cause
if you
you're in
ask me if
someone's
I'm gonna
house,
go
right?
pay, if I'm gonna pay for that, no, I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, you're not gonna
Somebody
pay.
else is paying for it, and then maybe
All
I'll
right,
take
all right.
take a
I'm
dip.
gonna
But
send
that's
you
it.
guys a care package, pickles and popcorn, dude. Fuck. Hope it
I'll
just
send you
makes
the
it through
pickles
goddamn
back.
UPS, man. Um, Brian, you still owe me Arcane though. So before the pickles, watch Arcane at least.
I was gonna say you have a better shot of Arcane.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
you have a
So
better
hopefully
shot
we
of
get
Wait,
Arcane.
Arcane.
do you like hate Arcane or something? You don't want to watch it?
No, he's never seen it. It never appealed to him.
I just never watched it.
The animation is wacky.
I told him it was a fucking masterpiece when it came to animation and stuff. Like it's so different as to what it's doing. Grease pencils, watercolors with very heavy cell shading. Like I think it was amazing. And then the story is fantastic too. And League of Legends sucks, but the fucking story's fantastic. But boys, what else is going on, man? Let's talk. Let's talk.
Yo, did you watch the Adesanya fight last night?
No, but I heard he got fucking demolished by that dude.
But who?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I forgot who he fought. I forgot his name. He's like a new up and comer, right?
Yeah, I
outside
didn't even
the-
watch the fight. I didn't watch the fight. I just saw the highlights because I wasn't gonna waste my time. I thought Adesanya was gonna win, but
Fire.
Yeah, he
Pyfer or
yeah,
something like that.
he got smashed.
The one that was crazy was Alexis Grasso and the Mayor girl.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
that was
everyone was
hard
like
to watch.
tripping out, man.
Yeah, that was hard to
Yeah.
watch.
Honestly, I didn't even know there was a fight.
Yeah, they had a UFC fight last night. It was kind of like in between a lot of these that are going on.
Like
But
I gotta be honest, ever since the deal went through with the UFC and Paramount, like I've seen no promotion because I have Paramount Plus, but like I'm on YouTube, and I felt like I was seeing a lot more UFC like commercials before, and I'm just like I guess like you say I'm a normie when it comes to UFC nowadays, but I see nothing, and I didn't even know who was fighting, who fought last month. All like people were telling me about it. Every time there's a fight, like I didn't know that there was even one for me to watch.
I think because it's like a more newer generation of fighters that are coming up that a lot of people aren't
Well, like
knowing
usually
who they
that's
are
the
by
most
name.
exciting, where it's like they're like I remember the guy who beat Anderson Silva back in 2012,
Yeah,
2013.
Weidman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Weidman.
And that was always the hype. Like you don't know this guy's style. You don't know like he's really doing well, and then like maybe he'll beat a champion or a previous champion. So there was always like a lot of marketing around like the up and comers.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
that's all Conor McGregor. He was an up and comer. It was all marketing, and
Yeah, I
he
think there's
actually
been
did
like a
well.
snuff after Conor McGregor's kind of run. A lot of people they can't pick up that hype and make it as entertaining
I
outside of the
think it's
ring.
because of all the Dagestan dudes are winning, but they're not like exciting.
Yeah, that
So
could be
it's like
one.
they
And
were
then
just like,
Khabib left too, and Khabib was like
yeah,
he was like a phenom. I mean, 30 something and no losses. 20 something. How many losses or wins? The other 31 wins, 20
yeah,
something wins.
21,
It
21.
And
was
then he
something. It's something insane. Yeah.
something insane. And then
Yeah,
like he got challenged by a lot of the guys, but like of course people don't watch fights to not see someone keep winning. You want to see losses because you're expecting the story to kind of progress. Every champion that's been out there, there's a million people in the comments that are like, nah, fuck this guy. He sucks.
I
Bunch of
don't know, man,
fat
because
dudes
like
sitting on the couch, man.
with like Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo,
28.
um, even Brock Lesnar, like their fights were so exciting. It's like you wanted to see them challenge, but you weren't really looking for them to lose.
Mhm.
You know, because every fight there was like a new technique that they developed, something else that they went for. That it was a different type of knockout. You know, it wasn't just like Brock Lesnar. It wasn't just like one powerhouse punch. You know, like he really like tried to do actual mixed martial arts. So I don't know. I don't think it's always like, oh, the champion. We're sick of seeing the champion. We hope he loses type deal. I
Mhm.
think as long as it's entertaining and you see a progression with their fighting style from when they were first the champion to a few years later. Like,
True, true, true. All right. On the side note, we'll start getting into some types of conversations. Yeah, because I didn't really see much of the fight, so I can't really jump in and say anything. I just know Alexis Grasso. That's my girl. I've been
yeah.
telling people about her since she was in the starting her pro career in Invictus. So it was good to see her be a champ, and then now still defending that title. But yeah, we'll jump on to something a little bit more closer to home, boys. We haven't had this on the list, but we were kind of casually talking about it amongst ourselves. Um, the guy who made the Lord of the Rings came out. What's his name? Greg Jackson, or what's his name?
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson. That was close.
Watch the respect, man.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Peter. Oh, good old boy, Peter Jackson came out and made this whole thing about. They're going to be doing like a whole new approach to. I think they're doing Golem's film right now, right?
The Hunt for Golem, yeah.
The Hunt for Golem, and then they're gonna be doing another jump into the Lord of the Rings universe.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff because I think all of us here.
Nope, not excited.
Wait. Let's not jump the gun. Exciting stuff because of the fact that all of us here are pretty good fans of the Lord of the Rings. We've all been able to see the movies and sit down. Brian kind of is more of a younger generation that's barely seen it kind of recently, right, Brian? Not too long ago when you got to see it.
What, the Lord of the Rings?
The Lord of the Rings. When did you get to watch it?
When like 2000 and
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you just saw it like recently with your
He
friend that you
talked
were
about how
talking
he like
about.
slept over his friend's house and watched like the
yeah, nah, like with the box,
box
like
set,
you got
like
the
VHS.
yeah, like the box set came out years and years ago.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I got
I was thinking that it was something like recent. No, okay, so you're good. I thought it was something you hadn't just watched because it didn't catch your eye or whatever. But nah. So I mean, casually, we're all pretty much good Lord of the Rings fans, and of course, I think we can all casually agree that when The Hobbit came out, it was kind of middle of the aisle, a little bit closer to I could watch it if I'm maybe drinking a little bit or maybe puffing something that's kind of going to take my attention away from being serious. I think, of course, the first trilogy was way better, masterful. Second trilogy, a little bit and then, of course, Netflix kind of, or what is it, Amazon Prime had its way with a lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too much into it because I think everybody's already torn shit into that. So, yeah, it wasn't very good. And then they made an animated series because they wanted to kind of shoehorn a character of female stature into that thing to kind of, I don't know, diversify the audience or diversify the cast into making it seem that it's not just
it was
male
just to
driven.
retain the license. And again, Warner Brothers has always been the dumbest company out of all the other companies. They're the dumbest one, and so Warner Brothers and Disney are always the last of the party. So they're still on that whole feminist bull crap and like woke stuff and like just hammering it down your throat.
Yeah, I got to see the animation, whatever it's called, of Rohan or whatever, and it was a little much, man. I got kind of like
They had like
sidetracked.
7 different artists. People kept quitting.
Yeah.
So like the animation, it's
Changes.
different. different type of anime, like in multiple scenes. Like one scene, you have like people from that worked on what's it called, like
Madhouse.
Studio Ghibli,
Yeah.
and then it went to like Madhouse, and then it just kept switching. So
Yeah,
not
yeah.
only is the animation completely off, the story is ridiculous. It's not lore accurate at all.
Yeah.
Like Oliphants, there was an Oliphant, but like multiple Oliphants, and that she could take it down, two of them. Like she would have been the most famous uh,
Warrior.
warrior of the Rohirrim in history.
Yeah. And no, and
And
she was never even talked
like
about
the
in the
whole
original
story
series.
was just about her like being suppressed by the time, and then like having to like let go of the shackles of men and be with
But
the
it's kind
lady
of weird.
mentor at the end. It was just bullcrap.
It's kind of weird because this is a question for each of you. Did at any time in the Lord of the Rings series did you ever feel that there was like like a a like how do you say it, like a downplay of the women cast or like characters in that universe?
In the movie?
Yeah, in the movie like itself. Did
No.
you ever feel like they were like degraded or anything as women, or being like subjugated to like, oh, you're below men? I never felt that in the Lord of the Rings series.
Never. And
Brian?
Arwen was like a huge piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, even even the
Yeah.
females were like warriors at the time too. They had a lot of like the elven warriors or
Well,
females.
it wasn't even about being warriors. Like for instance, Galadriel, she's not a warrior, and she's probably the most respected and greatest character in the
in the whole series.
entire series.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the movies, the Peter Jackson movies.
Yeah.
And not once do you feel like we need to see her in battle or anything like that. She has a presence. The gifts that she gave to um each member of the fellowship, and they actually
Sure.
utilized it, and it saved them and progressed all the way till they got to Mordor. Like she was every female not only actress but character had a big part to play, whether the emotional aspect, whether the part, like for instance, like Eowyn, and it's in the book where she says like I am no man, all that stuff, and kills the Nazgul,
Mm-hmm.
the king of Angmar.
Yep.
The
Huge.
the whole point of her going on that journey was for her to realize that war is ugly and there is no respect when it comes to just winning a war. It just sucks. That's why,
Yeah.
like her brother says, this is the province of men, and if he runs away from the fight, he's right to do so because this is like the ugly part of the world, and it doesn't prove that you're strong because you went to battle.
Yeah.
But she in a way she still couldn't like grasp that, and only until she saw the ugliness of
Early
battle
truth. Yeah.
did she realize that she has more power being in the kingdom and using her femininity and womanhood to progress the kingdom of Rohan.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff that like plays into like the differences between men and women, and how both of them complement a progression towards the world, but they don't have to
Yeah.
take each other's what's it called, roles. But every character like Arwen, the only reason Frodo's alive is because of Arwen, for multiple reasons.
Multiple reasons.
One of the only reasons that like Aragorn kept going was because of Arwen, at least in the movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't think at all, and like even the mom who like sacrificed staying back when the why am I spacing out? When the Uruk-hai was after burning down the villages, and all like other men were burning down the villages, she sent her kids off, and not because for her to stay behind and fight, but just because like I can't be selfish. My kids have to go and save themselves, and we might not make it if I'm on the horse. You know, like the like simple moments. It's just great. Like I don't think anybody was like, this is too much, or this is women are misrepresented in this or not represented. Like I thought it was phenomenal.
So to kind of piggyback off of that, my question to you fellas is, so since like the topic was that there's going to be new new IP. Actually, it's not new IP because it's a story that's already been written. It just seems as though Stephen Colbert is going to be making his adaptation of this story. Do you guys have confidence that this is going to bring the Lord of the Rings community back
Back together.
back
No,
together?
No, not
No,
at all, man.
no. Look, okay, the the Tolkien fandom is a very different fandom from all other fandoms,
fair enough.
and because it's a learned fandom. These are like there are college classes about the Lord of the Rings books, how it's written. There's languages. Like this is not just a random like this is fantasy and this is cool and whatnot. So Tolkien fans, they're serious about the lore, very
Hmm.
very serious. Like we know as fans that Tolkien would have hated the movies, the Lord of the Rings movies, because he had a very almost simplistic mindset when it comes to an adaptation. Like like one of the perfect scenes in the movie is when Gimli, is explaining to Legolas that he asked for a strand of Galadriel's hair,
Okay, hold on,
right?
really quick. Can I ask you a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
question? Should that
yeah.
matter though? Like I mean, it's gonna be hard. Like if I were to ask you to name me the best trilogy of all time, it's gonna be hard to find a lot of trilogies that are better than
Lord of the Rings.
the Lord of the Rings. So yeah, maybe
Actually, none.
the I was gonna say like, and I'm talking about just like as the movie. So does that really matter? Like, if it's such in high regard, just the movies, not the novels or the stories,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
should that matter that the fandom of the books care whether or not the original creator would have liked them or not? Like, does the question here is,
No, so
does this get people together?
no, no. Like let me finish my point. Like I don't think it's you should judge your opinion on something. Like for instance, Braveheart. It's completely inaccurate. It's a phenomenal movie. The Patriot. It's a great movie. It's inaccurate. So just because things aren't 100% accurate or the original creator might not have liked the way they did it, it doesn't stop it from being a phenomenal movie, a phenomenal trilogy, right? But the it's important to understand that Peter Jackson at the time that he did the three movies, and even the Hobbit was all studio interference, and you could probably blame Vampire Diaries and freaking Twilight series because of the love triangle. All studios did love triangle bull crap. You saw in Smallville they prolonged the Lana Lang love whatever love line or whatever, and then you saw in The Hobbit, and even Peter Jackson lost like I think 60 pounds because of all the stress. And they also, before they even had Peter Jackson, Benicio del Toro was the one directing the beginning of the Hobbit movies. So a lot of the designs were Benicio del Toro. Um, in the Hobbit, that was a respect to the Peter Jackson trilogy, and then he had to come in halfway, and the studio was forcing him to deadlines. But whatever. When he did the movies, he respected like the messaging and the inherent magic of Tolkien. He knew he couldn't do a full blown adaptation. It's dude, there's like for instance the stuff that Stephen Colbert is gonna adapt is the three chapters of when they are in the woods and they meet Tom Bombadil, right? It takes away from the gravity of the power of the ring because Tom Bombadil puts on the ring and he's one of those characters that Tolkien felt very strongly that we're not. It's not a character that you're supposed to understand or ever know about. Like he's an anomaly in the universe. So he's older than like the trees themselves, pretty much, right? So he puts on the ring, doesn't affect him at all. He's not doesn't go invisible. He could turn it off and on, whatever. Like it's no problem to him. He actually doesn't even really care about it. Those chapters in the when you see the movies, like when he says, Mary says, Buckleberry Ferry, follow me, and then it's just all of a sudden nighttime into going to the village of Bree. They've already adapted a lot of the things that are gonna be Stephen Colbert's adaptation, and the way Stephen Colbert is doing it is it's taking place after the Lord of the Rings, where the daughter of Samwise Gamgee, is retracing the steps to see what happened of like why the ring almost never made it to Mordor. And Stephen Colbert, he's an activist. He's all this stuff way before he is a fan. He is a huge fan. He knows lore like crazy. But just because you're a fan doesn't mean you should be writing. You know, like he has no credentials. Him and his son are doing this project with Peter Jackson. And Peter Jackson, he's kind of been checked out. You know, like
I kind of honestly would rather a fan do this than someone that's not a fan. Chris, what about you? Do you
Yeah.
think like this is gonna bring like the news of this is gonna bring the fandom together? And to that point, do you have an issue with someone that's being a fan of the material doing this?
So I think it deals with one of two things. Like, one, have I ever known Stephen Colbert to be a fan of the Lord of the Rings in his personal life? I didn't know to care to look that up in general because I'm not a fan of this person. Like,
Okay.
I don't think he does good in however he promotes himself, however he does. I mean, you and I have talked about it before, like in stuff. But being that he's a fan, that's good. I'm a stickler for fan and being close to the source material and all that stuff. I like that.
We
But
know.
where does he align in this factor? Is he going to do it to make a political statement, or is he going to do it because fan shit? Like, is he going to
Are
fucking
you
be
gonna?
like,
Okay, all right, hold on. I'm great. So glad that you brought that up. Are you gonna be able to differentiate the
politics over
man?
this?
Yeah. Are you gonna be able to do that?
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna give it a fair? Like, are you gonna get? Because even now, in explaining it, that's a concern of yours. Do you think that going into this, whatever political views Stephen Colbert may
Yeah,
have,
if he chooses as a person to leave that part of his life out because it does not need to affect this, then fine. Because I saw that with the Ring of Power show. Amazon had a purpose to directly change a lot of the stuff that J.R. Tolkien, Tolkien, how he improvised or how he wrote the story out, and they wanted to add a bunch of shit because of the political nature of Hollywood.
yeah.
Did I see that as a necessity? No. I wanted them to give us an adaptation of a story that we want to be good. You know, it's Star Wars, it's everything else out there. Like, if someone, like, let's say, I mean, I know we talked about this already because of like politics and stuff. We don't really get into it too much, but the new guy that bought Paramount or whatever, the new people that do that everybody's worried about, the one that's bought WB, right? If we thought he wanted to make Star Wars and they gave him the keys to the engine or the keys to the car, wouldn't that be our number one fear, is that he's going to go into his bullshit rather than stick to what we want?
We've already lived through that. We've already lived through that with Kathleen Kennedy, because she basically did exactly what you're saying with the same property with Star Wars. So we lived through that. So
that kind of concept.
I'm kind of thinking we could live through this.
Well,
but that just because we live through it doesn't
like,
mean it means it's good.
Like, look, with Stephen
Fair.
Colbert, like, I'm all for like a fan being the one that's close to it, right? I'm all for like separating the art from the artist.
Yeah.
Right. That's fine. You know, you see like Mark Hamill, nut job in real life. He's still Luke Skywalker. I'm not going to, like, if he like does a bunch of crazy stuff. Like, for instance, if I watch a Kevin Spacey movie, he's a great actor. I still see him as the character, but I know the kind of garbage human being he is, right? Like, you could differentiate the art from the artist. The problem with Stephen Colbert is not only is he writing this, but he praised Rings of Power as being something that's lore accurate and phenomenal and the next best thing, even better than the movies that Peter Jackson wrote. And obviously, it's not even
come on.
close to the source material.
I get it.
It's not even a well-written story.
All right, but if he is in line to make the next Lord of the Rings movie, he kind of has to do that. He kind of has to big up the last.
Now that it's out there, he has to do it.
He can't sit there and shit on a property that he's going to take over. He's gonna be like, you know what?
No, the Rings of Power is completely separate. Like, the Rings of Power is Amazon, and the one who has like the major rights to the story is Warner Brothers. Amazon, all they had the rights to was the appendices.
What I'm saying is he's not going to sit there. He's not going to sit there and shit on it. Like, that would just be suicide.
He doesn't have to. He
Yeah, it
doesn't
would
have
be.
to
It would
do
just be
that, but what he
it would
has
just
to
be
do is
suicide to
like,
do that.
yeah, but he has to be honest. Like, hey, look, I think this is an interesting take. I wouldn't have done this myself, but like, because I'm very strict to the source material, I have these issues even with the movies. Blah 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 blah. But
Bro.
he
If
sat there
you
and
and
praised
I,
it.
if you and I were in that situation, we would both be blowing smoke up of Power of the Rings' ass. Listen, I haven't even
Nah, I
given my
don't think
take.
so. Nah,
I haven't
man.
given my
Nah,
take. I
man.
mean, it's just I just think it's a political thing at that point. What I would say is, and this is just my 2 cents on this. I love the Lord of the Rings original trilogy, and I even like the Hobbit movies, but this may be one of those situations where it's too big to fail. I get what you guys are saying, and you guys may have your trepidations about Stephen Colbert, and I even said in pre-production, I don't remember him being in production for anything that I would have known. But honestly, I think this may just be one of those situations where it's too big to fail. I mean, it just I
Like,
don't think it's gonna fail.
here's the
Like
thing.
it's I don't think it's gonna fail at all.
It's here's the thing. It's like I said. Like the Tolkien fandom is a very different fandom, man. The Rings of Power completely failed. It completely
Hmm.
failed, and they put like $1 billion per freaking episode. Like this was
Yep.
being tracked for a long time, right? As soon as Christopher Tolkien died, they fired everybody in the writing staff, all the previous actors that they previously cast, so they could do diversity hires and change the story up completely. And everybody knew about it. Like this is not just your regular fandom. So like for even for Hunt for Golem, nobody wants to watch it because not only is it a story that we already know the ending to, and it's going to be a different ending that they never find Golem because in the movie itself, Gandalf says that they never found the creature Golem. And in the books, they find him, they take him to Mirkwood, goes to jail, and then he's eventually released or let loose, and then captured by Sauron. And then Sauron is actually almost impressed with the dude, but and then recaptured by Aragorn. There's like a whole thing where Aragorn's in the by the Black Gates and all that stuff. But it's gonna be it's a terrible idea. But they're
Okay,
already
so
recasting.
do you think this
Yeah.
is gonna work? Do you think it's like the original question? Do you think this is gonna work?
No, it's not because the for the Hunt for Golem, first for the Hunt for Golem, they're recasting Aragorn and Arwen with Liv Tyler and Viggo Mortensen, and it's supposed to have still Andy Serkis Golem and Ian McKellen's Gandalf. People are already like pissed that are just Lord of the Rings movie fans, right? So we're not gonna be able to see, and he's literally taking place when we first see Strider. It's like they're supposed to be looking the exact same, and this movie is supposed to be so that you could pretty much pause the movie and watch it. Same with Stephen Colbert's, and Stephen Colbert, it isn't just about the story. We already know how he's going about the story. He's not doing this because he's like just a big fan. He's not doing this because the like he feels like this is an important part of the story and bring it to life in the like in cinema. He's doing this because it's a cash grab. They need to put out a bunch of movies so that they can retain the license. And like you can even see freaking Peter
I
Jackson.
mean,
He's checked out.
okay,
He's
so
checked out,
then,
man.
Chris, let me ask you: is this gonna be a success? I mean, Relic says this is not gonna work. I disagree. I think this is too big to fail. What do you think?
Tell you the truth, I think it gets shit on before it even gets out of the market. I mean, I
Yep.
guarantee right now, just with Stephen Colbert's name connected, people are already shitting the shit on it. So it's already diversifying the fan base. Like, so Stephen Colbert isn't even getting the shot to actually try to do something. But again, this is reputation based.
Yeah, and
You know,
War of the Rohirrim
hold on,
was supposed to be part of the movies.
hold on, win 5
Sorry.
Nobel Peace Prizes, suck a dick. No one knows you as a 5-time winner. They knows you as a cocksucker. And this is reputation based. Like Stephen Colbert has represented himself in that political nature that now people choose to grade him on that nature. So now he wants to do something artistic, something that he himself has a stake in or an investment in because it's a love of his, a passion of his. And there's a large amount of his fan base that doesn't have any faith in him.
I disagree with that, and I would agree with you if this was, and I agree with you, Emilio. I don't share Chris's sentiments on
That's
this,
fine.
but if this was like an indie project, I would understand what you're saying. if he was just going out on a limb and trying something new, something artistic, I would agree with you. Maybe some of what he's done in the past year or two may represent in the box
Mhm.
office. But again, we're talking about something that has a large fan base. And if people, and again, you can say the same thing about Star Wars. Those movies made a shit ton of money, regardless of Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, but now they're not
So,
making money.
but again, the ones that she first came out with, the movies that she makes, they make a lot of fucking money.
Well,
And
Solo lost money,
whether or
and
not,
Rise of Skywalker, they reported the
but
budget
you're talking
like
about so
two
all right,
years
if you want to talk
ago.
about like Solo, all right, Solo, but what about the big like the main movies? The main movies make fucking money.
Yeah,
Like if you
the
want to
number
if you
nine,
want to pick
they
if you
reported that
want to
it
pick
barely broke even, barely.
if you want to pick anomalies of any mass of any mass work of art, then yeah, you're gonna have the outliers. You're gonna have the ones that aren't successful. But in large, Kathleen Kennedy, whether you like it or not, is gonna go down as one of the best producers of all time, money wise, like statistically.
Yeah,
So again, you can have your argument, you can have your views, but some things are just gonna be too big to fail. And I think this may be one of those things. I could be wrong, but
like
I'm gonna
the
find it
reason
hard
I
to believe.
disagree
And
is
I
because
don't think I
fandom
don't
is so different. The fandom is so
okay.
different than any other
The
fandom, and
fandom
they've already proven
this
that they
fandom
don't make money
this
with like War of the
fandom
Rohirrim and Rings of Power.
all right, Rings of Power is a show, so you're not gonna make any money off of
Yeah,
that
but
anyway.
War of the
The
Rohirrim had
fandom,
major marketing and it failed
I
completely.
got it. I get it. There is no bigger fandom or divided than Star Wars. I know you love Lord of the Rings, but there is no bigger fandom or toxic fandom than Star Wars. And that shit still makes money. Now, I'm telling you,
It
like,
doesn't make money anymore.
all
It
right,
hasn't
but
made money
when was
since the
when was
Last
the last
Jedi.
when was the last movie? Exactly, that was the
3.
last movie. When was
No,
the last
no, it
movie?
wasn't. Last Jedi.
Besides,
Then we had the Solo movie, and then we had the
okay,
Rise of Skywalker, and then
so
everything they've ever put out, including
Rise
the
of Skywalker
Mandalorian,
made money.
has dropped in views. The Rise of
These are
Skywalker,
shows.
they had it was the most expensive film ever made. It was
Okay,
over $900 million the budget,
how much did it make?
like a 1.2 billion, I believe.
All right, I'm sorry. I don't care how much they spend. If you make over $1 billion, that's
But
successful.
the
And that was the
percentage
last movie.
matters. That percentage matters. Like for instance, nowadays,
If
like
you
I
if you
talked
want to talk
about,
about if you want to talk about how something is if you want to talk about how something is viewed and if it's not where it should be or where it used to be, then that's a different conversation. But when you're talking about
Hmm.
something being successful, something that's going to bring people into the movie theaters to watch it, that's a wholly totally different
No,
conversation.
but it's actually the same because it's about the numbers percentage and at the time it came out. Like I was talking to somebody about Doomsday. If Doomsday when it comes out this Christmas, if it makes the exact same amount as Endgame made, the 2 point something billion, that's 100 million people less that watch it just to make the same amount as Endgame.
And
Because
you
the
think that's
average
a
movie
failure.
ticket no, the average
And to
movie
you,
that's
that's a
that's a
failure.
failure in terms of the fans because that means if there's inflation, right, which there is, so the average movie ticket used to be $12, now it's 15 from on the statistics of 2024, and at most movie theaters you're seeing like 16 to $18 a ticket. But if it's 15 is the average ticket, and that's like conservatively, and the next Endgame conglomerate of one of the best, not only the best IP, the currently best universe, and has some of the best characters, and it's going to be the thing that like revitalizes everything, and you're putting it right next to Endgame, and they make the same amount of money, you lost 100 million people as fans. That's
Okay,
and
that's
then
and
it's
that's
the amount of
again.
money it takes to build it, because that means even if they make the same amount, they also didn't make the same profitability.
Okay, we're in the land of what ifs right now when we're talking about Doomsday.
Mm.
We don't know
Sure.
what Doomsday is gonna make. We don't know any of that yet. So when we get there, we'll cross that bridge. Okay.
No,
I'm talking about
I'm
what
not
we
saying
know
like
right now
what it
as a
should
fact.
make. I'm just saying that regardless of whatever it makes, it's gonna have way less people watching it because they've hurt themselves. They've hurt the fandom. So
Okay.
just like let's say the same amount of people to watch Endgame, and then you get the same amount of people to watch Doomsday, you're getting around almost $4 billion from one movie. Like the people watching it,
And this is
people,
bad how?
No,
Because
that's a good thing. That's a good thing if same. So if you have 100 people going to watch a movie, great. But let's say the next movie, it's made the same amount of money, but only 3 people watched it because the tickets are just that expensive. That's a failure, man.
To who?
To everyone. If you only got 3 customers and each of them paid like $60, right?
Yeah.
Equals out like $180. And then
You're okay.
before,
You are the head. You are the head of the studio that made said project. Do you give a shit how many people went to go watch your movie if it made the exact same money that was a blockbuster?
100%. Because if there's inflation at the box office, that means there's inflation in all the costs it's gonna take to make a movie. That means I'm looking at a certain percentage of profitability. What I want as a business owner is to make sure that whatever I'm putting out, I still maintain 40% profitability, 50%. The percentage is what business owners look at. The percentage is what people who put out a product want.
No, I'm sorry.
If you spend $1 million and you make $1 million, how much you make? Zero.
Relic. No, the bottom line, the money is what they look at. Whatever you're talking about percentages, I'm sorry to break it to you, and I know you're speaking from like a fandom standpoint, but the bottom line is what they're looking at. However much they made to make this money and how much money made at the box office. That is the only number that matters to them. They could care less if 50% of the same people went to go watch their movie. If they made money off of it, they do not care. You see this in every iteration of every movie. That's the reason why these movies get sequels, prequels, they get all this. They don't care. If it makes money, they are going to continue to keep pumping these out. Like, that's just what we know. I don't know.
I 100% agree. If it makes money, they'll pump it out. But you don't think they're having conversation like, hey, look, every movie's making $1 million, but it's costing more and more to make the movie, and the tickets are getting more and more expensive, but we're not seeing an increase. What they want is an increase.
That's not necessarily true. No.
But why is it they're not focusing on getting more people in the seats?
Superman is a great example of that. Superman is a great example of they weren't looking to break the bank with Superman. They just needed to hit a certain target. They needed to make a certain money to where they can look good, and which we saw they did, where they
but they didn't look good. They had to take it out of the movie theaters before the 45-day embargo.
Let me finish my thought for 1 second. Hold on 1 second. They literally spun the narrative for the first 2 to 3 weeks that they were making money, that it was looking good. You saw all the talking heads saying that this movie was making this, it was making that. As long as they're able to do that, they're fine. Listen, these studios, Disney, Warner Brothers, they're understanding that they're going to take losses at some point. But as long as they're able to create a narrative or close enough money to create a narrative, they're fine with that. And that they can look back to their investors and say, hey, this wasn't a complete failure. Yeah, we may not have made $2 billion, but hey, we got you back your money on your investment. If they're able to do that, some of these companies are just fine with that. Now, us as fans, if it's not something that is up to par with what we want, that's a different subject. That's a different conversation. Chris, you were saying.
Yeah, well, it's just the factor of like how you're putting it. It's that the companies that they're doing is they're giving them the bare minimum, so they make the bare minimum. But the idea is they're not maintaining people in the seats. So when inflation happens, yes, the tickets are more expensive and they do make and break even, but there's less people sitting there watching the films because there's less people caring about these IPs. Now, the concept is with Star Wars, that's what happened. You look at everything towards the ending of the trilogy, and it was a decrease of people that were caring about the IP, even though the fan base is separated or people are saying it's good and it's bad. The numbers are showing that people are not in the chairs. Inflation's up, the pricing and the numbers they're charging are still up, but nobody cares. And the reason why I say that is because of what happened to the Alkalite and Ahsoka. When those dropped, even though it's still Star Wars or whatever, no one gave 2 shits as to what it was those people were doing with those IP, and they all failed. I mean, they're lucky Ahsoka's going to get another season if you think about it, right? And now we're in this. Yeah. And the concept is, but again, it's like, that's the problem with this is the Lord of the Rings is suffering from the same problem because you had the Hobbit, well, because you had the Hobbit movies, which were bare minimum. A lot of people didn't care for them. We even said it before that that's not our favorite. Then it went into the Ring of Power. The video games were good, but that's for a different audience. But then it went into the Ring of Power, which completely lost a lot of the fan base, and everybody complained. And then it went to
World of
Rohirrim anime, which a lot of the fan base didn't even care to watch because they didn't know they were going into dipping their toes into Japanese animation in the first place. And
No, they
then all of
knew.
a sudden
They
they're like,
knew.
hey, you know what? Let's bring in Stephen Colbert. Like, what does he have to do with the Lord of the Rings? Why should I care? And the reason why they even had Peter Jackson come out to make this announcement is because they knew people weren't going to give a shit if they mentioned it without him. Like, that's the thing. That's literally
Yeah.
them bringing back Tony Stark to make it seem that everyone else is important or the Doom shit's important, is because you needed Peter Jackson to make that announcement.
Okay.
Because he didn't make the announcement for Ring of Power. He didn't make the announcement for the anime of the Rohirrim, even though they're his
actually
IPs.
in the World of Rohirrim, he did talk about how he was going to be the producer of it. And
Yeah, but that's just someone putting his. They had fucking.
yeah. So Peter
what's
Jackson
his
was
name?
attached to it, and he also said that it was part of his
Universe.
world,
Yeah.
his universe, and so they had a big influx of people watching it, and then everybody crapped on it.
Yeah, because it was shit. It wasn't
because
good.
it sucked, and so Peter Jackson's on everybody's scrap list right now. But like, all right, let's see what he does, and then we announced him for Golem, and you could see online as soon as they said we're gonna recast Aragorn and freaking Arwen, everybody's pissed. Nobody's giving it a chance. And these are stories that are not good. And like, he could have picked from so many stories like Baron and Luthien, the Second Age, even the First Age, man. Like, pick some appendices from the Silmarillion, like adapt those where he has to use the same. He could use the same designs and everything, but it's completely different characters, a different time where he could mess around with that stuff and it doesn't interfere with the movies. The reason they're trying to attach themselves to the current existing movies is because they have nowhere else to go. They know that if their name's attached to something that's completely new and not something that's already has success, they're not gonna have success. So
Yeah.
like,
Am I vile? I'm not really
yeah, yeah.
shitting on it. I'm just saying like the obvious reason why people are gonna shit on it in the first place. Like that's the obvious reason. 100%.
Yeah,
What
and
you
it's-
said is 100% why there's already a huge divide on it. Is it
There's
right?
that,
I don't
but
think it's right.
Colbert, it isn't even him talking about Trump. Is like he is when he talked about politics, he was always for like the
Shouldn't, but he
DEI
does.
stuff. He was always for the woke stuff. He went against everything that he claims that Tolkien wanted, and he's actually gonna do a Tolkien property. And somebody that claims that they're the biggest Tolkien fan in the world, and they're like super against all this stuff, and they're divisive, it's a problem. Because you know that in their mind, or at least in the back of their mind, they're going to be putting things in there that has nothing to do with the story, with the story that they're even trying to write. They're gonna make the girl marry Sue. They're going to do something that's going to speak to everybody instead of just sticking with the story, and doing that. And like we saw with Peter Jackson, I don't know if I talked to you or somebody else on another stream, but we were talking about how like a lot of directors, they get so big that everybody around them are just yes men. It happened to George Lucas. As much as I like
Yeah,
the
we talked about
prequels-
that last week, I think.
Yeah, as much as I like the prequels, like they're not as cohesive and as well written as at least The New Hope and Empire, right? Because all he had is people telling him like, "Yeah, your ideas are awesome, you're great." We see it with Christopher Nolan, we saw it with Steven Spielberg, great directors that are not making like their same level of quality that they were doing like 8 years ago. Like all their movies are kind of like not doing as well as like simple movies, and I get it that there's different time after COVID, all that stuff. But come on, like,
I
this
don't
is-
know, man. Oppenheimer made a shit ton of money, so I don't know what you're talking about on that point. But what
No,
I mean,
I'm not. I'm not saying
what
just
I'm saying,
one. I'm saying like multiple movies that they were a part of.
he's
or
about to
movies
yo
that they
the
directed, they
Odyssey.
didn't- What
the
about
Odyssey,
the Tenet? The Tenet
the-
didn't do anything.
The Odyssey again over you're taking one movie over a broad spectrum of movies. The Odyssey is about to break the bank. Oppenheimer
I don't
is
think so.
broke the bank. So I understand, but a lot of people love. A lot of people. It's one of the most love written stories of all time. So a lot of people are gonna go watch that movie. So I'm just saying. So I'm just saying. Just to listen, I'm not dying on this hill. I just think that. I think you guys are speaking extremely from a fandom standpoint and not looking at the broader picture, which I understand. But I just think whatever thoughts you may have on Colbert, I think they're not gonna have as much of a factor in this as you guys may think that it does.
Like I hope so.
I honestly, I don't think it's gonna have a big factor. Yeah. And honestly, and I don't know the statistics on this, but I think there's more Colbert people that like him than don't. So I would definitely put my money
getting fired. How's there more people that like him?
He's getting fired because he's getting fired.
Have dropped in the last 8 years. All
ratings are drops less and less. All ratings are dropping. It's not just him. It's not just because people don't like him. When was the last time you watched a late night talk show? No one's watching that shit.
I've never watched
exactly.
I know Conan's ratings went up.
No one is watching late night.
He retired.
No one's watching late night talk show. I'm sorry. No one's watching it. It's not just Colbert.
I agree.
It's all of them across the board. So let's put that narrative to bed. He's not getting fired because people that are owning his company don't want smoke with the presidency. That's why he's getting fired.
But he's getting hired by the same people that fired him.
What's that?
He's getting hired by the same people that fired him.
Okay. Because he has worth. Like he has some worth.
And again, I want to be proven wrong. I hope that when he comes out with whatever show or movie that he comes out with, he leaves all that stuff behind. But the problem is we've already seen him take something that's simple and spin it into some political bullcrap that he didn't need to do. Like you could say you don't like Trump. Great. But then you like go to all these other tangents of why you don't like the dude that has nothing to do with the topic at hand of why you don't like him. And it all comes from a personal space instead of like, these are the reasons and this is my political standing. But then he's just like attacking people like from their character and then saying, if you like Trump, you're also an idiot and a moron. And I don't even want you in this country. Like
I'm not even going to touch that. I'm just saying, regardless on however you or I feel about him, just my perspective, just what I think, I don't think it's going to have that much. Yeah, there's going to be some people that are going to say, fuck him. Like, I do think that. But I think on a grander scale, I don't think it's going to be enough to damage whatever money he was.
It's not going to derail them from stopping this production.
I don't think if this movie fails, it's gonna. If this movie fails, it's not going. If this movie fails, it's gonna be because it sucks, not because of Colbert being the producer on this. Like I do
agree with that. I do agree with that. Like the thing is, it's not gonna be derailed mainly because of the fans. It's gonna. Exactly what you said. It's going to get derailed because it sucks. Like my problem is that, like somebody said, like, would you rather have nothing? I'd rather them not be taking things that already exist and putting their spin on it, right? Like if Stephen Colbert is a true fan of this stuff and he's going to put aside all that crap, great, fantastic. But go do a story that has nothing to do with the stories that we've already seen. Like we got Baron Luthien, we got the fall of Gondolin. We got so many things that they could adapt in different ages that they could pick whatever cast they want, but they're messing with the things that came before.
I agree with you.
And the thing is, we don't trust.
I said this before. Yeah. I don't necessarily need this fucking movie. I'm not even sure I'm gonna watch this fucking movie. Like I don't necessarily need this shit. I was fine where it was, to be honest with you. If no one else ever picks this up, I'm 1000% fine with this.
It's like I was gonna say the same thing because Am Vile came in and said, but so what you're hating on is the fact that it comes from Colbert shitting on the president, right? And he goes, I know that, but it shouldn't matter. And then he says, so what you're saying is you would rather have nothing, and that's not right. We had the greatest trilogy ever created in our lifetime. Why do we need anybody to go back and try to recreate it, or just like the Harry Potter shit we're going to talk about? Like, it's still very young in its film adaptation, and it's great. So for them to want to adapt or move into it or do something extra, it should be something that builds the property, not tries to equalize it to a current time frame of what needs to be explained or whatnot. It should be something that kind of stays in the nature of what that story was trying to do originally, right?
But
I think that's what Star Wars suffered from.
But Chris, I think that's judging it before it comes out because you're speaking as if it already came. We don't know if it's going to hold.
Watch, I'm just going to put this out there, and it has nothing to do about if I'm judging Colbert, but I'm judging every other masterpiece that's been out there that has done the same thing. Is they've tried to change it to the current dynamic of how we need people to explain to us how society is now. And it needs to fold that IP into our realism. And that's all
Instead
I'm
of
saying is that I
escapism.
understand that Colbert hasn't had the opportunity to prove himself, but explain to me in any other format across the board in Hollywood that it has, that someone has gone to one of our favorite IPs and has made it better. There's more failures than there's people that do justice to it.
Yeah,
And the
this
ones that do
is-
justice to it, they don't get enough traction.
And
You
I
know,
think
you have
that-
Johnny
the big
Rico in the
problem with
Starship
this is
Troopers
like-
game.
Well, big problem with this is like this is one of his first things that he's going to do that's like a film.
That's huge.
And
Fuck.
and
I
why
wish I
didn't
got
you
the
just
Lord
like,
of the Rings to pick me
like
up.
where so he's obviously like political in terms of Hollywood, like people like him because he was able to get this job. But generally, you want big name directors to handle and big name screenwriters to handle a big property like Lord of the Rings. You know, like you wouldn't just hire just some schmuck to do, you know, the next Spider-Man movie, the next freaking Van Helsing movie. You want somebody who already has the talent, who's already gone through the ringer. They have experience in Hollywood producing and writing, right? That's why you see people like Kathleen Kennedy, regardless of how much she destroyed Star Wars, she was in it because she had all this experience. She was part of Indiana Jones. She was part of E.T. She was part of all these other freaking movies. And so George Lucas chose her because he thought that she was just like him. She had the experience, you know. She usurped, but she had the experience. So it's like Zack Snyder for DC. He did The Watchmen. Good job. He did 300. Good job. 2 comic book movies. Solid. He really liked he always talked about DC Comics before he even got the job. So in hindsight, we know it was a bad idea. But if you look at Warner Brothers, when they're looking for somebody who's going to run Justice League and the DC Universe, Zack Snyder was one of the perfect choices.
So I have a question. Like just on the bare minimum of idea, why Stephen Colbert if he has zero experience in producing films or directing films? Like why?
So just to clarify, because we're getting things a little bit muddy,
Yeah,
and
'cause I'm just
I hear
confused on
I hear what you guys are saying, but I also kind of understand where Emmy Vile is coming from, because he's just co-writing it, right? Which he'll get an executive.
No, he's the
producer
writer.
thing.
So him and his son are the writers together.
Yeah, so
they
he's
came up with the idea.
so he's co-writing the story with the son. Like I said, he's co-writing. So as far as just coming up with, and it's already based off of something that exists. So it's not like he's doing the whole James Gunn thing where he's writing, directing, and he's a one-man show. He's co-writing it, and then it's gonna be on someone else's term to execute it. So I think for that, for me anyway, I'll give him, again, I don't necessarily need this project, but I'm not gonna judge it before it comes out just because he's co-writing it. Like, I'm still gonna want to see what it's about or see a trailer before I start to make assumptions on whether or not I think this is gonna be successful or not. Because again, this is a big fandom. People still are living off of the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, even The Hobbit. Yeah, maybe the last couple of shows, again, these are streaming shows, don't do well, but then again, there's very few shows that do well. So like, I'm not gonna base it off of that. I'm gonna take this, and I think this is where Amityville is coming in, saying like, why don't just give it a shot? Like, yeah, you may not like him, and you may have your views about him politically, but if, like Relic said, if you leave that all at the door, and you don't bring that in here, I think he deserves a shot. I just think he should get that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Like to be fair, fine. Let's give him a shot. The other problem is that I think it's also not going to do well because it's a story that is not only completely unnecessary, but it's in the middle. Like, are we gonna have timestamps so that we could watch Fellowship, stop it, and then watch his stuff, and then go back to the Fellowship? Like, this is gonna be a
This movie
one-off
is gonna
movie.
this movie is gonna bomb, and then I'm gonna have to come back in here and listen to you two
Stop.
schmucks. And listen to you schmucks talk about
See,
yo.
Brian,
I fucking
see?
told you. I fucking told you this guy wasn't shit. I'm dead because I went so hard for fucking Stephen Colbert. I don't even care for the guy. I don't even give a shit about the guy. To be honest with you, only
That's
backing the
fucking
guy.
wild.
Like, I didn't know you were Stephen Colbert's biggest fan, Brian. What the
I'm
freak?
not, yo. I'm not. I just honestly think
No,
that
you-
the guy deserves a chance. Whatever.
No, you're being a good guy. I see that, like, but I can't. I can't separate the art from the artist. It's just it doesn't make sense to me why you would hire. I love the idea of bringing on big fans, and like letting the directors and writers and showrunners like know like this is what they think of the property. This is what speaks to them. This is like the comics they should adapt or whatnot. But somebody who's never done anything to the Tolkien estate, to with Christopher Tolkien, with the books, with the novels, with the comics, with the movies, other than being having a scene in The Hobbit, like what, like you're just saying that you're a huge fan, and then having Lord of the Rings talks with people at parties, and so it just doesn't make sense why you're the guy that they're hiring to do this. I get it. He has an idea. He brought it to the studio. It's just like investors. Fantastic. But like nobody told him like, hey man, like this is kind of a weird idea. How about we do something else first, and then we start messing with something that already exists. Like prove to me that you can actually make a film in the same universe, and then we could actually do something that we know is going to taint for better or worse this movie, this trilogy.
True that. Good call. Good
And
call. Good call.
I
Actually,
do
so as a matter of
yeah.
fact, I know we've been talking about Lord of the Rings for like a minute, and it's a good topic because again, there's nothing more than us as fans, huh? Yeah, look at his chair, Brian. That's dope, man.
Nice.
Like a fucking $300 chair, man.
This
No, I don't
is
know.
this. So now, if I ever really want to just troll Relic, you
Just
remember how
talk
you used
shit
to
about the Lord
troll?
of the Rings.
You remember how you used to troll fucking Trigger with fucking Dune and shit? That's
Yeah, Dune.
that's Relic's Dune,
That's
bro.
the movie. Yeah, that's the Dune. That's the movie. Dune is
Dude,
boring
don't
as
even
fuck.
compare Dune to Lord of the Rings, all right?
No, we won't. It's boring as fuck, dude. But Trigger loves it, so God bless his heart.
Oh wait,
Yeah, we're gonna go on to the-
wait. Hold on. Quick question.
Shoot.
Dune. I want to suggest we don't have to stick on this too long. I don't need explanations. I just want a prediction right now. Dune and Doomsday opens on the same day. Which movie makes more money?
Doomsday.
Ooh.
Doomsday, dude. No, you can't. You're
I
not gonna
think-
tell me a bunch of kids are lined up to see a bunch of red ass worms and
Relic?
people not drinking water and piss in the desert.
I'd
Doom,
have to
bro.
I have to
comic books,
agree
bro.
with Doomsday.
Yeah,
I
dude, come
think
on.
Dune, it might be the
Okay,
better movie,
Okay,
but I do have to agree with Doomsday. Yeah.
quick question. One more question. So because Dune is taking up all the IMAX theaters.
Yes.
Doomsday can't get any IMAX. Do you think that's gonna have a problem for Doomsday?
Wait. Doomsday is not gonna get any IMAX, or Dune is not gonna get.
Dune is getting
Dune's
all
not.
the IMAX.
yeah,
Doom-
Doomsday's not.
Doomsday is not getting any
Okay.
IMAX. They're gonna have to get only the Dolbys. Look at the Dolby theaters,
Fine.
and Dune is getting all of the IMAX.
I could
It
give
was-
two
it was-
shits
it
about
was
that
made in
shit.
IMAX.
dude.
It was made in IMAX. Yeah,
No, but it's important, man.
it's
like,
important. You're not gonna be able to
Man.
watch Doomsday in IMAX at all.
Bro,
I
with my
think-
current status and brokeness, I'm not gonna be able to see it in that shit anyways either, man. Fuck out of here, important.
I think it's gonna come down literally not with what slots they have. I think it's gonna mainly come down to the entertainment value, regardless of writing. Like, what movie is going to be a cinema movie, right?
I
Like,
think-
are you gonna like my mom when we went to the
Boys,
movies?
you're overlooking this way too hard.
I don't
Name a
think so. I
10-year-old
don't
that's
think
like,
so.
yo, the Astartes or whatever the fuck they're called in that movie cannot wait to see these dudes go out there
I
and do
think
some
you
shit.
guys-
in
No,
some
no,
sand.
but like, look. Wait, hold up.
Dune fucked up.
The Dune,
yeah, dude could suck
Dune
it, dude.
didn't
I
Dune
think-
the first Dune release in HBO Max?
It was a day and
Look.
day release because it was during COVID, so you
Okay,
had
yeah.
so released in theaters and HBO in HBO.
Yeah. And so here's what I'm thinking. Like, yes, you're 100% right, Chris.
I
But
bet
what I'm
fuck,
thinking,
do
like,
you want to
my
see
mom,
sad
my
Zendaya in the fucking desert, or you want to see happy Zendaya swinging around the city with her boyfriend? What do you want to see? What do you think fucking
I don't want
people
to
are
see
gonna
either.
line
If
up to see?
Zendaya's in it, I don't want to see it. All right.
What do you
You're
want to
gonna
fucking?
you're gonna see a lot of fucking Zendaya, bro. Let me tell you,
Yeah,
bro.
she's gonna be in
she's in
Shrek.
everything,
She's
bro.
gonna be in freaking Doomsday, Spider, whatever.
And
Doom,
she's in that
whatever.
fucking show, the fucking Euphoria shit too. So
Oh,
you're gonna see
Yeah,
a lot of
like
you're gonna see a lot of Zendaya.
the kitty porn stuff, right?
I don't
You're
like
gonna
that
see a
shit,
lot.
man.
You're gonna
I feel
see a lot
bad
of
for her.
Zendaya.
So, anyways, like my mom, we would go to the movie theaters, and she's like, whichever one has the most explosions, we're gonna watch that at the theaters. Whatever movie has the least, we'll wait to go to Blockbuster and rent it at home. So
I'm
my
just gonna
mind
say
is like,
this.
it's the same thing. It's like,
Yeah.
which one's more entertaining in theaters? Which one's more entertaining at home? Like, Dune is boring. So I wanna pause
Ah,
it. I wanna go pee. I wanna go get some
Back
snacks
to
in the
Brian.
fridge.
Don't start,
You
dude.
know.
Brian.
Okay, versus
I've
superheroes.
converted.
What's more
I've
boring,
converted.
Dune
I've
or
converted.
superheroes?
I've converted, bro. I was listen, Relic.
No, no,
You
I'm
will
not saying
not
it's not
find.
good, but I'm saying what's
You will not.
what's
You
more
will not
entertaining.
find a bigger
Brian, there
shit
was a whole
talker.
fucking Average Boy season with just Brian literally fucking sending Trigger home
Just
crying,
shit,
bro.
just
Just
shitting on
shitting
Dune.
on his ass.
And then I actually watched it, and I was like, ugh, you might have a point here. And then the second one came out, and I was like, ugh,
I still haven't seen the
I don't
second
want
one.
to. I don't. It's really good.
Is it really?
It's really good. It's really good. It's really fucking good. And so that's my thing. I think it's gonna be a situation where people are gonna watch both. I think people are just gonna take the entire day and they're gonna watch Doom and Doomsday in the same
Yeah.
day. It's gonna
The-
be
like-
like a Barbenheimer thing where people were split and they both made a shit ton of money. I think it's gonna be something like that.
Well, those
Here's the
guys have
thing,
good
like,
jobs,
these-
bro. 'Cause I don't know how you go
these
see two
movies-
movies in one day, man, without fucking bringing the
Well,
bank.
like these movies, they're catered to. I would say catered to like adult fans. If it was different, where like, oh, we're adapting a comic and this is gonna be more of a family friendly movie, one of those, that one always is gonna win. Whichever one is more family friendly, it's always gonna win in the box office.
Nah, man. Look,
If
watch.
it's like-
This is why it's gonna make
yeah.
more money, is because Doomsday is gonna pull from every nostalgic pubic hair you have, dude.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
This is gonna have
Yeah.
like literally every fucking comic book
X-Men,
watcher
Tobey
since
Maguire,
2001
Spider-Man,
or 2013 or whatever
everything.
the fuck to now. I mean, that's
Well,
ridiculous, bro.
Also, yeah, so Doomsday also because we're gonna get Spider-Man Brand New Day 6 months prior to that movie. So like that's already added marketing to Doomsday.
Yeah, I mean
know.
the first scene of Doomsday has already been leaked, and I have a high suspicion that this movie
I
is
have
gonna
not
get
watched that.
a lot. I had it spoiled for me,
Who's
but
gonna take it home?
I think it's gonna have a high rewatch value.
You think so?
High rewatch, absolutely.
I really
Especially the
hope.
way that this is gonna start off. The way this is gonna start
Yeah.
off is gonna be fucking epic. If you guys don't know, if you guys haven't had it spoiled, then more power to you. But the way that this movie starts off is gonna be fucking insane. So
Like I read the
yeah.
leaks like a month or two ago that was like the Fox X-Men versus Deadpool.
And I
and
only
then
had
Tobey
it.
Maguire Spider-Man and all that.
Yeah, so I had it spoiled because John Campea spoiled it. Actually, he
Yeah.
spoiled it, and I was just watching a regular random John Campea fucking show, and he just decided to spoil the first like scene of Doomsday. So I had it spoiled for me, and it sounds epic. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Like it's apparently like the first like incursion reboot, and then the part two Secret Wars, it's going to reboot the entire MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
I mean, I would, but I wouldn't do that if you know it. I would just say just do your own research. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because I was really interested to know if you guys thought that Dune stood a fucking chance in
no
the
Dune. Well, here again, it's I think sometimes it's gonna come down to when you get to the theater, because Marvel is a little bit washed down because everybody's kind of sick of it. But we're gonna get Spider-Man Brand New Day. Let's see how that works out, and then Dune. I don't know what kind of marketing they'll do, because when the second Dune movie came out, their marketing was awesome, up all the way to the popcorn buckets.
Yeah.
You know, like they
Flashbacks.
really went ham on marketing.
Yeah.
So again, like
I completely derailed this, Chris. I'm sorry. I know you were kind of queuing us up for the next topic, but
No,
I
no,
wanted
it's
to,
good
yeah.
because it still has the same topic of conversation. Like, again, Marvel
mhm.
is something that we love here, and it's been very dry these last couple of months. And Brian, you get to come on the show every now and then, so we haven't really even like been able to talk about any spoilers or any talk about of Marvel. So anything that comes out Marvel, I'm cool with. DC too, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool that we get to do Lord of the Rings, but like I said, like it wasn't too crazy on positivity. But the same concept kind of floors into the idea of the Harry Potter stuff. Like, I don't really see my biggest thing about the Harry Potter. I know they released the trailer. I'll ask you guys on your opinion what you think about it. I'm just gonna lay mine out because it's not like I don't know. Like I think Harry Potter's cool, but I never really cared to watch the last two, even though they were really fantastic. I just never really like I don't know. I just never
They're
found the
not
time.
good movies. They took
Well, no, I
away
mean
a lot of
I
stuff
mean
that was
for what
meant to
it's
come.
worth, it's very difficult during these times in cinema to run a movie past three films unless you're Marvel. Marvel has the template, and even with that, 19 or 18 films in, they're kind of struggling, which is
Mhm.
again a feat unheard of because no other cinema studio has ever done that
Well,
before in
like
history.
I love the Harry Potter films, even with all their
Yeah,
problems.
like there's nothing wrong with them. I think they're
Yeah,
cool.
and
Like, yeah,
again, they could have made
Fantastical
more
Beasts
money,
sucked.
but remember, Twilight was coming out at the same time as the
Yeah, and
last
Hunger
two
Games.
movies. Yeah, there was Hunger Games coming out at the same time.
Yeah, roughly same thing with Maze Runner and all that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
so it was
I
during
think
the
Twilight took.
teeny bopper
Yeah.
romance movies and stuff. But Harry Potter was the one that kind of knocked it out of the park, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Now we're getting some type of reboot television show that looks fucking ridiculous, dude. Not even gonna fucking lie. I don't even want to hold it down. I saw the trailer and I'm not gonna watch it. I don't give a shit about it. It just doesn't
You
look.
didn't watch it?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. It's fucking
Okay.
garbage, dude. Trailer looks stupid, dude. Like just the way it's filmed, it reminds me of like one of those like Apple TV horror films or like a HBO horror film. The
Like the color
shots, the
grading.
way that they're doing the cinematography, it's just to me, it's not good. It kind of loses the fantastical flavor of what Harry Potter gave us way back in the day, which mind you wasn't way back in the day. So
Yeah.
again, my biggest thing is why recreate something that was masterfully done, even though it left stuff out of the book or whatever. That's the complaint a lot of motherfuckers are doing nowadays. That it's like, well, they don't
Well,
have to
that
do
was
the
the point
source
to make the
material.
show was that the movies didn't took away a lot of the book.
They're gonna
It
say a
was
lot
one
of
of the
shit
main
like that, but
reasons.
they go against that when they get called out that they're not to the source material, and then they're
Yeah.
like, well, it's creative or whatever. Like the Joker movie, all this shit that we have, the Alkalite show, like it's the same shit. If it's someone else, then it's fine. If it's them, it's fine. Like it has to deal with whoever's making it that has the civic correlation to their shit. Um,
Brian, did you watch
but
the
Harry
trailer?
Potter is not old that it needed to be remade.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and I actually liked it. But just to throw this in there, the reason that I think or that I've been hearing the reason why they made this show is because they're launching HBO in England or something like HBO Max in England. So this is gonna be their show that they're gonna lead with. So that's the reason why they decided to do this show. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. I'll just be blunt with you guys. It's not really my thing. It never was my thing. I think I watched the first movie and it just wasn't for me. But after watching the trailer, I mean, I'm not gonna rush to watch the show. It's gonna be one of those shows that I'll wait for people to watch it, and then I'll look at reviews, and then if it's cool, I'll watch it. That's how I watch most of my shows these days, because I just refuse to waste my time these days. So I usually wait for reviews. If it sounds like it's good, I'll check it out. Maybe see if Harry Potter, if I can give Harry Potter another shot. But to answer your question, I saw the trailer. It looked good. I do understand what you mean, Chris, where it lost some of the fantastic elements of the movie, but I kind of like that. I kind of like the more based realism in it a little bit for me.
Relatability or whatever it is. Like
Yeah, I think if anything, I like that part about it the most, to be honest with you. But I can see if someone that's a big Harry Potter fan can have an issue with that. I'm not gonna nitpick over that with somebody, but for me, it's not something I'm gonna rush to, and I'll just check it out if it seems that it's good. And by the way, Vince, um, Yes, I am. Although me, D, and Eddie, we talk about wrestling 24. It seems like 24 hours a day, bro. And wrestling, especially WWE, is not in a good spot right now. I'll just say that. But
We were just
yeah,
talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Me,
But
D, and Eddie. I was talking to them too. I don't even
yeah,
watch this
and
shit.
you. By the way, I saw Amityville. Like he doesn't want any spoilers. The trailer doesn't spoil anything other than letting you know that Snape is black,
yeah.
and that's the biggest
I
problem
didn't even see him in
with
the
the show.
trailer. To tell you the
Isn't
truth.
isn't isn't Hermione? I think Hermione
He's
is
Indian.
black.
Hermione. So
Or
Hermione,
she's
yeah, she's like a mix.
yeah,
I
she's not
think
white. Yeah, she's not
again,
white.
like she's a kid, so it's like I'm not gonna hate on that casting because like she really
But isn't that closer to her
she
character in the
auditioned,
book,
right?
though?
No, she's white, red-headed, frizzy hair
Oh,
with
my bad.
freckles,
Fuck.
and she's very explain. Like even Snape, he's described as pearl white at one point. He's like
Yeah.
the whitest character that's ever whited.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Well, I mean, Harmony in the fucking Broadway musical's black, so I mean,
That's Broadway, dude. Like,
yeah. What's the same
So
shit? I
wait,
mean,
let's get down. Let's get down to the
yeah,
toxic shit, yo.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just
We
get
already
down.
know what's up. Yeah.
Let's get
no,
down
yeah,
to the toxic shit, and we're talking about Snape. Let's talk about Snape. Like, what are our thoughts about the reveal, and how does it make you feel? Let's just get straight to it. How are we feeling, guys?
I mean, Relic will probably be a lot more critical on this than I am.
oh yeah.
Right? I can already
Yeah,
tell you.
I
He's
don't give.
never gonna-
I couldn't give a shit less, to be honest with you.
For me, it's one of those things like that ship has sailed for me a long time ago. Like the Little Mermaid and all this other stuff. Like they've done it a billion times already. Like you're almost expecting this every time that they reach an IP that they get the opportunity to do it too. So like for once, just do a good fucking job. Like
Man, that's
please.
that's the thing. I think they're going to do a very well written job, but they're adding. The problem is that in the trailer they're adding things into it, and already one of the characters, not Snape, it's Aunt Petunia. She's not acting at all like she is in the books or in the movies. She doesn't act like a pompous, like high class, like wanting to be high class woman, including her husband, which that's a huge part. She just acts like very much like almost like a psychopath in this and again it's a trailer, so it's one scene. Who knows, maybe it's just that. I always said like the problem was never going to be casting ron Harry, Ron, and Hermione. That was never the issue. The standouts were always Snape,
Use the bathroom.
Dumbledore, Professor
Yes, cool.
McGonagall, and I think actually those three, right?
Okay.
So, Brian, I'll share it with you. Like I was pissed because I know what they're gonna do with it. I know that they're going to
and what's
play
that?
like when they casted the actor for Snape, they're
Mhm.
gonna lean into the whole like racism card and the black thing because like that character. First of all, part of it's gonna be funny because Harry, the whole like point of the whole time Harry for like 4 years, he doesn't trust Snape and he can't figure out why. He's like,
That's
as soon
funny.
as he saw him, he's like, I don't trust this guy for no reason. And then, like, when they have the closet thing that shows people's biggest fear, people are just going to say that, like, Neville's fear is a black dude
There's a black guy.
because that's who's, like, Snape shows up. And there's literally a scene, not only in the movies, but in the book where a bunch of white kids hang Snape from a tree.
Yeah, I
And
don't know. I don't know if that's gonna go
you
over
know,
so well. I don't know if that's gonna go over well. I
it's
mean,
not. It's
listen,
not gonna go over well at all. Like,
listen.
and
There's certain
yeah,
things that I think that yeah they'll. What's up, D? We were just talking about you. We were just there's certain things that I think that if you're going to dabble in the in the race swapping thing, which again I don't necessarily. It's a case by case basis with me. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I just think it's not necessary. For this being that I don't care for the source material, I don't really care for Harry Potter. It really doesn't make a difference to me. Again, I'm probably not gonna watch it, so I'll leave it up to you guys that like the material
hmm
to have your opinions about it. I'll just gracefully bow out and just say I will agree with Chris. If I just hope that when you as a studio, when you go into this race swapping situation, I hope you know what you're doing. And I also hope that the actor God bless him because
Yeah.
I hope he knows what he's doing as well and what comes with this because in today's day and age, man, the internet is relentless, and I just hope that whatever group he surrounds him with, whatever type of inner circle he has, I hope that they're strong. I hope that because there's gonna be a unleashing of just hatred go like
Yeah.
spout his ways. So
No,
I
and
just hope he's ready for it, man.
I'll point this out. Like he's already received death threats,
I'm
and
sure.
first things first, nobody should ever receive those. But I'll say this: I only have 90 subscribers. And
Send them
welcome
my
to the
way. I
club,
don't give a
man.
fuck. I'm sorry.
Like I've already received like at least like 6 of them, and and I'm like, this is insane. But also, you also commented to the public that you received those, but for what purpose, right? Like obviously you want this in the media. The problem is that this is probably the most important character throughout the series, and you're also going off the coattails of Alan Rickman, one of the greatest actors to ever live. So even if he has a good performance, right? Even if he is true to the character, and all they did was race swap, which I doubt. And I've always thought race swapping has always been dumb. Just create a new character if you need a black dude, an Asian dude, whatever. But if you're a fan of the material, you're going to be true to that material. Like you're doing this like the Odyssey, right? He did all those recasts and race swaps because he wants an Oscar, right? So with the with the Harry Potter series, I think the freaking production value looks great. I do think it like they hired Zack Snyder for the the color grading. It looks really dreary and kind of crappy, but the music's a little off except for the end. And my favorite casting is Ron. I feel like he's a lot better connection to the Ron that we see in the or that we read about in the books instead of the even though I love Ron in the movies. But yeah, like this is going to be a huge stain in the series overall. And again, like this is supposed to be 8 seasons because of 8 books and there's a lot of problems already with it. Like Dumbledore, the actor's 80 years old, so he most likely will die before the series ends. Um I don't think the girl that plays Hermione should get any hate. She it's the showrunners, the people, the casting directors, they're a problem because they have an agenda. They're using this property to push something because if you didn't have an agenda, you would just cast the people who look exactly like the character. Especially if they're one of the only characters that is described very specifically on their race, how they look, even how their hair is shaped. So it's like why would you pick this one? Like the memes are funny because he's the half-blood prince, right? And what and there's already like him with the bandanas like half blood, how about full blood, whatever. And there's which I
They're
thought
doing
were
it to the
hilarious.
gang, so that's funny.
Yeah, but in the books there's no discrimination of race. It's actually bloodline, mudbloods versus full bloods um who are a descendant of a wizard and a muggle, right? And the both people that they race swap are mudbloods.
Yeah, that might be an issue.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying, D, and you're saying that the guy said in an interview that he's ready for it and it'll fuel him. Yeah, I'm sure it will in the beginning, but at some point that shit is gonna wear him down. There's just no way that it's not going to. Like I hate to say this, and I really am pulling for the brother because that takes some fucking balls, especially first off, the Harry Potter just fandom is
Yeah, you think
different.
we're bad, bro?
J.K.
They're
What's her name?
insane.
J.K.
J.K.
Rowling.
Rowling.
Like she's just a fucking nutcase in itself. And
Bag
then
of
it's
dicks,
just
man.
yeah, dude. It's just like the whole thing is just toxic. So I hope that again his inner circle is strong and he is ready for it and that it'll fuel him. But I just know it's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad for
Like
him.
the thing
I
is,
wish
like
the
it
best
would
for him,
go a
man.
long way if he just comes out and says like, "Hey guys, I know I'm not the the right
Nah,
race. I
can't
took
do that.
this.
Can't
No,
do
no, he
that.
can't. He can.
Can't
Trust
do
me,
that.
because
That's
normal
blood in the water.
people,
That's blood
the
in the
blood is
water.
already in the water. It's dude,
Yeah.
it's been chumped to hell. There's already sharks
Yeah.
eating right now. But if he comes out like, hey, look, I'm an actor and I'm gonna give it my all to portray him the best as possible. I know I don't look like the character because he's just stating facts. He's not saying anything. Like, I know I don't look like the character, but allow me to bring this character up. I really love this character, and I just want to do a really good job. Alan Rickman's one of my heroes. All that stuff, it will go a long way with the people like me who are like, dude, what the freak is with the race swapping? It's like, all right, I'll give it a chance
Bro.
based off this actor. Just like the director of Sonic, when he's like, yeah, we effed up, we'll redesign it. It goes a long way. Zack Snyder, it goes a long way when they just talk. Like the guy who did the bat nipples on the Schumacher Batman, Schumacher, he was like, yeah, I had a vision. I'm sorry about Batman and Robin. And then everybody's like, oh, okay, all right, like you
Listen, man.
apologize, like got it,
I'm
cool,
gonna be honest with you.
moved on.
I hear what you're saying, and that's probably I wouldn't say that's the best option. It is a option, but honestly, man, I wouldn't be built for that because I'm not apologizing for shit. As a matter of fact, I tell him to suck my
No,
black
no,
dick.
he's not
to be honest with
apologizing.
you.
He's just letting
Like
people
I just
know.
be like, listen, y'all can suck a bag of dicks because they're gonna come for him anyway, right? They're gonna come for him regardless, whether he apologizes or whether he just shuts the fuck up or whether he just tells him to suck his dick. So I'd rather get my shit off and be like, listen, y'all can kiss my black ass, and I'm gonna do this role, and y'all can watch it, y'all can not watch it, they can fire me, not fire me. Like I'm gonna get my shit off because I'm not gonna sit there and just let
But
fucking
we
thousand
saw that
comments.
doesn't work. We saw that with what's the girl from Snow White, the girl from Little Mermaid. Like if they were just humble enough to be like, "Yo, I hear the hate. I totally got you guys. I'm an actress, I'm an actor, and I'm gonna do the best job possible. And I hope you guys like it. I hope it stays true. And I understand why you guys have your reservation, but I'm a professional first and foremost. Great, dude. Like you're doing your job. Awesome. Like when we see, like for instance, Daredevil with Ben Affleck. I love the actor that played Kingpin. And when I watched that movie, people didn't really hate on it at all. They were like, "Oh yeah, he's not white, but like this is like this actor, he doesn't focus on race." The movie had no focus on race. They didn't race swap to freaking push some like divide or politics. So it was just literally like this guy was the biggest dude in Hollywood in literal size, and he is gonna be a beast as Kingpin, and he has this intimidating voice and presence and acting ability. Let's put him in Daredevil with Ben Affleck. The movie isn't that good, but man, is he an awesome Kingpin.
I am going
You
to
know?
agree with both Amy Val and D because I 1000% agree with you guys. It's not on the actor to be humble. Like I hear what you're saying, Relic, but you got to understand this is this guy's biggest opportunity. Like this is like an opportunity of a lifetime. He shouldn't have to apologize for that.
Maybe
Like
no.
that's not
He
something
shouldn't.
that's
He shouldn't. The showrunners are the problem. The showrunners could have cast the right looking guy. It's like the joke in Ted where he's like, and this year's new Superman, Jonah Hill, and then they just like all get super pissed, like F the freak. Yeah, he doesn't look like the character. Like the thing is, like we're fans because we're fanatics. We like this stuff. So when something it goes
some
completely,
people are just doing it. That's not everyone that's going to be coming his way.
I agree, but he has to understand. Like everybody who takes on a job, takes on a role, writes something, and completely changes it from the lore. And we've seen today's day and age that people are sick of the race swaps. They're sick of the politics, even if it's the same politics that they like. Like if I watch a movie and they have my same politics and they're shoving it down my throat, I'm pissed off, man. I didn't feel the escapism. I didn't escape from reality. And literally Harry Potter is escape from reality. Okay? And if they hired this guy, like why give him dreads? Like if anything it's like, "All right, we hired a black dude. Fine. Why'd you give him dreads?" Like
And this is kind of
his hair and the way it's
this is kind of leading into what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
why I think if I were him, I would just tell everyone to kiss my ass because there's gonna be something, right? If it's not his skin is gonna be his dreads. If it's not gonna be his dreads, it's gonna be he's the way he talks. If it's going to be something like in this situation,
Yeah, yeah.
he can't win in this situation.
Yeah, so
That's
why
what I'm
take
saying.
the
Like
job? So it's not a job of a it's not a role of
it
a
is,
lifetime.
it
If
is.
if
It's
you
the role
can't
of a lifetime. It's a role
if
of a
Well,
lifetime.
for him as an actor, it's a role of a
Yeah,
lifetime.
it's a role of a lifetime. But
But
because
it's not his
some people,
fault that they hired him as the actor.
not his fault. So that's
Yeah.
why
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying like
not his fault. No.
I get what I do understand what you're saying. It is an option, but for me, it would be the last option because I don't feel like I owe anyone anything for going after my biggest accomplishment to date. And again, someone is gonna have an issue, and some people might not have an issue at all and still talk shit. So there's no winning for losing in this situation. It's just like
But
damn if you
it's
do,
not
damn
to
if you don't.
accommodate the people who are always going to be on
Do
one
you
side or the
do
other.
you, do
Like
you
it's
think it's
more
gonna matter at a certain point when he's getting thousands and thousands and thousands of hate mail and death threats and comments? You think he's gonna be able to decipher who's being a genuine fan and who's just being a dickhead? No, it's all gonna be the same
no,
thing at one point.
he's gonna be able to decipher depending on the quality of work that he's doing. If he sees like it's different. Okay, if the show comes out and they focus on race, they focus on politics, all that stuff, then the not actual hate mail, but the hate towards the show is warranted. But let's say he's just a black dude and he's literally just playing Snape. They literally did no politics, no nothing about race, none of that stuff. He just happens to be a black actor. Great. There, regardless of what you do, if you're on the internet, you're always gonna get haters. It doesn't matter, dude. I posted Spider-Man Lego, and all it was is the Lego head, the one back here, and like I got like 10 dislikes. I had no dialogue, Spider-Man music, 10 dislikes. Had some likes, but it's just like there's gonna be hate everywhere. All right.
I've always
Every
believed that it's culturally insensitive for studios to do this because life is different per different culture. Life is just different. Like I wasn't raised the same way Relic wasn't raised, the same way Brian wasn't raised, the same way D was raised. It's culturally insensitive to just like swap people by race and be like, nah, it's cool. I've always thought that. And that's just me because life.
It's also lazy and sloppy seconds. Like it's offensive to everybody.
Yeah.
Like if you really like,
And that's where I
yeah.
kind of have to draw the line a little bit because it's not offensive to everyone. There is going to be a black kid that watches this guy play Snape and him will get inspired by this. There's going to
Yeah.
be a black just let me finish this. Let me get
Okay,
this
yeah.
off.
Yeah,
Just let
that's
me talk
fine. That's
for
fine.
a second. There is a such thing as representation, which some people can feel however you feel about representation. But you and I, Chris, I got into it about Namor. We got into about Namor,
No.
and I thought that it was important for there to be a Mexican representation in the MCU, and you were vehemently against it, which was odd to me. But like, there are going to be people in the world that are going to see this guy play Snape, and they're going to be like, you know what, I could be an actor. Maybe I don't want to go after a white role or what is quote unquote a white role, whatever the fuck that is. But there are going to be people that are inspired by this. So
Yeah,
I don't
but
wa- I don't want people to hear this and just think
but
that
okay, so it's a good thought that you brought up Namor because they changed the entire origin story of the character.
okay.
This is what I'm talking about is they
It's no
literally
longer the
changed
character.
the cultural device of why this character works
And
as
why
a
is that
Aztec
bad?
or a
And
Mayan.
my question
No,
is
I'm not
why
saying it
is that
wasn't
bad?
bad. No, because remember I was against it and then I saw the movie and I was like, you know what? I thought it was pretty cool. Later on, I came out and I changed my mind about it. Did I like it all the way? Not really, but I thought I did a very good job as a character to change it because they didn't just change the race, they changed the entire origin story of the character. They rewrote him into a new character pretty much. Other
Yeah.
than him having wings on his feet and other than him just looking pale skinned or whatever, now he looks a little bit melanin and now he's fucking Aztec for no reason. Is it cooler? I don't know because I knew that what's his face was like Greek or Roman or something based on Apollo, based on, the Spartan caricatures of the sea and all this other stuff. But they made it work because they changed the cultural representation of the character. They didn't just change his skin color. And that's the thing: is Snape going to be depicted as a black man in England or UK growing up? Because I know that's a cultural difference over there. The culture of the Anglo and the culture of the black person is so much more different in every different culture. Are we going to get something different, or is it going to be just the same thing like you guys talked about earlier? Has as you go deeper into the character and you have like the mud blood and the hate, the disrepresentation, like how does that formulate if they don't make it make sense better?
Yeah, and also Snape's a huge piece of garbage. Like he's not a hero
But
character, not somebody you look
but see,
up
like
to. You know,
to go to your
That's
point,
all I'm
Chris.
saying about the other stuff.
I think it makes sense for them to adapt. If you're going to race switch, then go all for it, bro. Don't have him playing the same fucking character, just black. To me, I think that is stupid. Because then at that point, you could have just made another white actor. Like
100%.
if you're going to go in this direction, go all the fucking way. Like, why the fuck not? People are going to talk shit regardless of what you do.
Regardless of it.
So no matter what, and I do think that if you go down this route of representation, you know what baggage that comes with from the studio to the
Oh yeah,
acting, all that
they
shit.
already know. They already know.
So go for it, bro.
Yeah.
Just go for it, and understand that you have the added weight of being that representation for the black community, or being the representation for the Mexican community, or being the representation for the Brazilian community. Like, you have to understand that sometimes, although a lot of people that are sticklers for this sort of material aren't going to like it, sometimes representation isn't that bad. Everything around us is white sometimes. Sorry, guys. Sometimes it's not bad to have representation of the culture in the world that we live in. Sometimes it's not a bad thing, even if it's changing a beloved character.
everything you could do right, but you can't change a beloved character. There are actual characters in Harry Potter that are really, really good characters if you read the books, that are black, that are Indian, that are Asian, and they have huge roles to play. And you even saw a little bit in the Harry Potter movies, and they could have used that character. Now, you spoke on a lot of stuff. I'm gonna kind of point out the representation part. I think that representation, if the only way you could connect and be inspired by a character is by somebody who looks at you, who looks like you, then that's a problem. Like, I'm inspired by the character themselves, who they are as a person, and I think every kid who's not taught, because racism and hate is something that's taught. Race is something that's taught. Like, you can't, like, for instance, you can't represent any Brazilian in any movie, ever. Because we're all super mixed. Like, both my grandfathers are black. I have Filipino in my family. German, Russian, Polish. And it's all immediate family. It's not like my father's name is Vladimir, dude. And looks like freaking Lex Luthor. And his dad was a boxer and just looks straight black.
All right. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Well,
I understand that.
Like, let me just. So in Brazil, super, like, if you want to find racism, you could find it, okay? But in Brazil, everybody is so diverse that if you're hating on a race, you're probably that race, because that's crazy. And so we connect because we're all Brazilian. There's no black Brazilian. There's no Asian Brazilian. We're all just Brazilian. So at least in my country, like, things have changed a little bit, but in my country, if you're a normal person, you're inspired by the character you connect with, not how they look.
But things don't change when you find out that someone that did a great job on a soccer team or a great job in a movie, that doesn't make you feel differently that you find out that they're from Brazil. That doesn't do anything for you.
No. Like,
Chris, does that make you feel different when you find out that someone that is successful?
Hold on
1 second. You don't Chris, you don't think it's different that when you find out that someone is from the valley that did good, you don't feel a sense of pride in that, a sense of like, fuck yeah?
I mean, in the culture of like gang, yeah, like Puro 956 or whatever, but that's not a culture. That's like, it's just like a hood, like a neighborhood, like the old block or whatever. Like,
yeah, but let me go back. The same question. Let me
I don't know. Like,
backtrack
it's
my
weird.
answer.
That's weird.
I would say yes, but the thing is, Brazilians, like, it's just the country, the nation. Like, the problem with America is you're divided. Like, you're either African American, which doesn't exist, or you're white, which doesn't
Yeah.
exist. You're all just American. The entire world sees you as American. Now, if you decide not to see yourself as that way, that's one thing. But like, if I see a black Brazilian, I'm inspired by him if he's a good dude and I could connect with his character. If I see a Japanese Brazilian, same thing, but it's all Brazilian. That's cool. That's cool if you're inspired by. So if you're by that logic, it's like if you're American, you should be inspired by American,
Yeah,
regardless of color,
yeah.
right? So I'm saying if you are a kid and you see
Mm-hmm.
something that looks exactly like you, and that's the only thing that
No,
inspires you.
you're putting the caveat on that. No one said it has to be the only
No, no,
thing. I'm
like,
just saying, no,
yeah,
I get what you're saying, but you're putting
yeah.
the caveat on that, and that kind of dismisses the entire point. The point is, I get like I was rooting for the United States in the hockey tournament because
Oh,
I'm
for
an
the Olympics, right?
American. Yeah, because I'm an American. But
Mhm.
there is something that does something to a child or to a
Yeah,
person
yeah.
when you see someone do something that is different, that is an achievement, that is
Oh
something
yeah.
that is fucking awesome. Like that is what representation is supposed to be for. It's not supposed to be in place to piss people like you guys off. It's not there to be woke. It's not there. I
Agree
mean,
with that.
maybe that's a byproduct of it. Maybe that's what happens. But no, it can also, if you want to look at it from a positive perspective, can be a conduit. It could be a leaping pad to the next generation of people that want to do something great because they have a representation of that on screen. I'm not saying it's the only thing that's keeping them going or it's the only thing that can make them successful. That's
No, no, no,
whatever caveat
no.
you want to
Like,
put on
okay,
it.
okay. Like my point is this. Okay, take the same kid, black, white, Asian, whatever, and he's inspired by whoever plays Snape. Do you really think the color should matter of the person that inspires him? Because if you're a kid, you'll be friends with everybody because that thing hasn't been taught to you yet. Like,
If you think
it's a
if
bad teaching.
if you think
It's
for a
yeah.
second, if this guy that plays Snape does a great job, if you don't think for a second that some black kid that's gonna watch this and see this black actor say, I could be a fucking actor because I see that it's possible to do that. Or I
Yeah.
see
Yeah,
I can be
that's their own
or
thing. Everybody,
or
yeah, of course,
and that,
there's a
and
chance
No,
that
but
that could
what
happen. Of course.
and
I'm
so
saying
I don't
is that all,
understand
like,
where
regardless who you are, you're gonna inspire black kids, Asian kids, white kids. You're gonna inspire all
I
sorts of kids that it's possible to do something. Mainly because of your story. Because if you find out, like, let's say the actor Black Snape and he, you know, was spoon fed and he was a
thank you,
millionaire
Amy Vile.
from
That's what I'm
birth.
saying.
He
I
was a
get it.
millionaire from birth. Like, everything was handed to him. He didn't have to work for it. He's not even a good actor. Like, but inspires a kid because he saw somebody that looks similar to him do
Yeah,
somewhat of
that's
a
what
decent job to him.
it's going
That's
it's
not
going
gonna
to be
connect.
different. It's
You
going to
know,
be
like,
different. It's going to be different. If I wanted to be an actor, it's going to be different that
Yeah, he does.
I look at
it's
Leo
people who don't know
DiCaprio.
Brazilians. They don't like.
It's going to be
We're
different from how
Africans.
I look at Leo DiCaprio than a Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
It's just inherently I have something that looks like me on a successful route that I can say, hey, I can do that. If I look at Leo DiCaprio, it's not inherent to me to be like, oh, I may be able to be an actor, but you know, there's still gonna be a little difference that I may have to, but then I have this exact representation right here. That's what I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying.
No,
I'm
no.
not saying it's and I just have to disagree with you saying that if that's your only reason for doing something successful or your only reason to be inspired to do something,
Mhm.
I think that's a disservice to not only
Yeah.
my culture, but your culture and Chris's culture. Like, I would love to have been able to see something that looked like me do something successful and inspire me. Like, I don't understand a world that doesn't exist. Like I'm not
Yeah,
exactly sure what you guys are saying.
Well,
am I
well,
vile?
like for
Like
instance,
literally, Relic looks like the last dude in that fucking line, and that is the fucking Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Brazilian family. Like, if
Okay.
anything, the people that pinnacly represent Brazil on the largest scale of the biggest sport other than soccer that comes out of that. Relic literally looks like the last dude in that line.
Listen,
I just picked a random fucking picture.
if this does not apply to you or Relic, I understand. But that's not that this was
I'm not saying. I'm just
but
saying.
this
I'm
wasn't
Relic
a
was like he
point.
doesn't look
Amigo
Brazilian.
just said I don't look Brazilian.
He just said he doesn't look Brazilian. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's so many different like variations of Brazilian. It's just like Mexico, dude. Like, there's so many different variations. And yes, he does. Like, if anything, like I just said, you could literally say that dude standing in the middle with the mustache, which is fucking Helio Gracie, literally looks like it could be Relic's grand fucking paw, dude. Like, yeah, he looks Brazilian. Like, there is no. He doesn't look enough like anything else. But like like it's like you guys were talking about. Like, it's weird. Like, no, look, watch. I'm gonna put it out there. Watch. I'm gonna put it out there. For me, growing up, I looked up to 3 major characters: Blue Marvel, Hyperion, and Wolverine. None of those dudes are Mexican. None of those motherfuckers are brown.
We're talking about real people.
Brown, yes,
you went to comic books, bro. We're talking about like real people.
Okay.
Actors.
Cus D'Amato, Dwayne Ludwig, Boss Rutan, Rickson Gracie. They're all dudes I look up to, and they're not Mexican. None of them are fucking Mexican.
Okay.
Like Musashi Miyamoto.
And you think that if there was someone along those lines that were Mexican, you wouldn't feel an extra sense of pride in that?
I mean, I could, but then you're shallowing the idea of what these people stand for.
All right.
I get it.
Listen,
I do get it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that it's based on the opinion on how they want to be raised that way.
If you guys don't have that, I understand. If you guys don't feel that way, I understand. But that wasn't even my point. Like, it wasn't even about you guys. It's about someone else that's out there. Mm-hmm. Someone else that's out there.
No, I get that. I ain't shitting on that. I mean,
that could feel that. That's my only point.
Like, my thing is, I think it's very sad. I think it's very sad that, and I'm saying that's if that's the only thing that inspires. I'm not saying that other things couldn't inspire whoever is out there, but I think it's a very sad thing when the things that inspire you the most is somebody that looks at you or somebody with your same background. I think it's fine. Like, oh man, like this guy, like I'm usually inspired by somebody with either a tragic story or somebody who just kept persevering. Like,
people find their heroes in different places.
Yeah, because again, with every person that exists, you're gonna disagree with them on something. You're not gonna like something about their character, and when you can actually focus. Like, it's something I love about my country.
Let me ask you a question really quick.
I think we're digging too deep into this shit.
I think it's a good conversation to have.
I think it's a good conversation too. Do you think Obama, right? Do you think Obama becoming president, you think that wouldn't have had some type of lasting effect on black kids around the world?
Yeah, of course. I think so.
It's not that it didn't. I don't think it had any effect in most of Brazil. Like,
well, I
think people who focus on race.
Well, of course, it's not going to have anything on Brazil because it's Brazil. But as opposed to an American kid here in the States, I think it's pretty safe to say that it had more of a positive effect on the young black community here than not. And that's all that I'm saying. I'm just saying to act like that's not important to not just my community, but to all communities is extremely important.
Well, I think that's why the question, why is it important? It's because it was taught to these black kids in America that they should
you couldn't do that. No, it's that you could not be this. It was something that you could not be. We had never seen that before. We don't have that many black actors that are at a high level. We've only had a handful of black male actors that have won an Oscar. So whenever a Michael B. Jordan wins, it's fucking newsworthy because we don't have that representation. We don't have that to aspire to. So when we finally get,
Yeah,
and that's just from my community. Again, I can't
yeah.
speak for any other community, but when you do finally see something that's never been done, that is going to inspire us. So that kind of representation, it matters to certain communities. It may not matter to you specifically, and it may not matter to your community
Mhm.
specifically, but to other communities in the world, it does matter.
No, I totally get that. I'm just saying that like the community should have a progression, whatever community you're a part of. Like for instance, it depends on how you define your community. Like I have friends here in the United States that are black, but they're not considered part of the community because of the way their mindset is. They're
What does
not
that mean?
like for instance, you say like it affected the community, a black man getting an Oscar, black man becoming president because they finally have some representation. They believe that other black people can finally achieve it because somebody that was black achieved it, right?
Yeah.
Right? So like for instance, one of my friends, we've had this conversation many times and he doesn't subscribe to that idea. He's very wealthy. He works hard on his stuff. He's like comes from your typical background that you hear. Like he doesn't have a dad. He was born in the ghetto, all that stuff, and then he went to school and persevered, all that stuff. And the people who inspired him had never once did he point out their race. Never once was it a point to really make him believe in himself because somebody else that looks like him and just off that premise he believes that he could do it. No, he went and persevered. And today, like I had this conversation like a month or two ago. Like he believes that anybody can inspire anybody, and you can choose who inspires you as well. It isn't just because somebody looks like you. And I understand that people, people currently exist who that's how they feel inspired is by somebody who looks like them. I totally get that. I'm saying I think it's a sad thing because the end result is that we're all going to die. We're all going to whatever you believe in. We're going to get to heaven. We're going to whatever. We're all one. We're all people. And so we should be inspired by somebody who's good achieving something good. We can understand how the world works, how maybe if you're black in this state, it's going to be harder. Maybe if you're white in this state, it's going to be harder. Maybe if you're Asian in this state, it's going to be harder. Great. But to say that like you should be inspired or you're going to be inspired and that's the only time you're actually going to feel like you can actually achieve something is by seeing somebody who looks like you or
And
is your
again,
color.
you're putting that caveat on it that
No,
that doesn't exist. No one
no, no,
in
no, no.
this
I'm
world,
not. I'm not.
no,
Wait, wait,
but
wait. Let
there's
me
but
let me
there's
finish. I'm not
there's
putting the caveat. I'm just saying like, it's sad that like people believe that because there's representation on screen that that's necessary for anybody to feel inspired. I think it's fine to have representation on screen. Go for it with an original character. If you feel that strong about it, create your own original character. That's why we've had comic books. That's why we've had movies. It's because somebody thought of an idea and then they thought of creating this character looking this way and acting this way with this kind of background. So
I
so
just
I
disagree
think
that
if you're
there
gonna
has to
do
be. I just disagree that
yeah.
there has to be parameters on that. Like, who are you or who am I to say it has to be done this way in order for it to be acceptable? You know what I'm saying? Like, there shouldn't be parameters or to be put in a box. And again, no one in this world
No,
is a
that's
monolith. No one,
like
no
okay,
one,
if
no
like
one, no
for
one in the
instance,
world. Hold on one second. No one in
yeah,
this world is a monolith, right? No one is the
yeah.
same. No one has the same way of viewing things. No one, you know what I'm saying? So no one in this world walks around thinking that I'm only going to be able to feel inspired because of this. No, you found inspiration all over the place
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in certain different things. The thing is when it comes to certain communities, it would be it's a sense of pride. Like, hey, I can do that because I don't see that much representation of this of me in this spotlight. And now that I have that, I know that it's possible to do this as opposed to being only able to do this.
No,
And
and I agree with you. That's what I'm saying.
my entire life, I was told that I can only do this, and now I can see I can do this. It's just another avenue.
No,
That's it.
no,
That's
no.
all it is.
I totally I understand, and I'm not disputing that that doesn't exist. I'm saying that like if you are in charge of something and you want diversity in it, don't replace the existing characters. If it's like your own property, you've created a
Why?
story.
Who gives a fuck? Like you said, we're all gonna die anyway. Who gives a fuck about that goddamn book? Who gives
And it
a
is
fuck?
her
There's a
property.
point to it. There's a point to it.
Nah,
Like,
man.
No,
just
but
like-
not,
just like
not
we-
only
just
that,
like what we
J.K.
were
Rowling
saying-
signed
wait,
off
wait,
to this, so it is her property.
Wait, just like what we
What
were
happened?
saying, just like we were saying, like the whole mudblood situations, the whole like what they're gonna do to Snape, how they're gonna do it. Even if they just stick with the story, it's going to, because of how people view the world, they're gonna see it without escapism in a different light. So I think it's important, like just like if you're gonna make a documentary and you're gonna have, a documentary about Obama, you're not gonna cast Ryan Gosling as Obama. Because by that argument, like, oh, who gives a damn? We're all gonna die anyways. Why not cast a white guy as Obama? Oh, you could make the claim, oh no, but it's real. It's a documentary. It's different. No, it ain't. It
Why?
ain't. So, how is it not different?
I'm just fucking with you.
Okay, freaking A, dude. Like,
Well, that's what they
I'm
fucking
in a
did.
garage. I'm
Yo,
sweating here.
guys,
I'm
you're
dying.
not even. It's not too far fetched. They did that with Cleopatra. Remember?
Yeah,
yeah.
well-
There's been race swapping all the time, bro. It
But
happens,
that was an
man.
actual
No,
historical
but
person.
my thing is, I think the way Hollywood goes about it, they're not going about it as in like we need more representation. The way they're going about it is like we're casting a black man in a role because we are actually the racist. We don't believe a black man could carry a role that wasn't first black. That's what they're doing.
And again, I started this off by saying it's your perception, right? Maybe that could well be the case, but in doing so, what they're actually doing is inspiring some black kids somewhere to want to be an actor.
Yeah,
So
dude, you could take a dump on the street, and you're gonna inspire somebody to take a dump on the street. You can do
I'm
whatever.
just saying,
You're gonna
and it
inspire somebody to do something.
that's
like-
all I'm saying. That's
But
my
I'm saying that it
point.
doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't need to be with
And
Snape.
I-
They know
and-
what
and
they're
I
doing.
think-
This
I
isn't
think
like the
that's
first
where
race
we
swap ever.
disagree. I think that's where we disagree in the fact that I don't think it's up to us. We don't get to make those calls just because we like the fucking story or because we're
Well, then why make it in the first
sticklers-
place?
We're sticklers for the source material. Like
No, but why make it in the first place? Like, why
I
would you
told
make?
you.
Why,
I told you.
Why
One,
would you?
because one, it makes money. Because one, it makes money. It engages people. And two, there is such thing as called represent. Like D said, why not? Because
Yes,
it's a
and there is
representation.
characters in Harry Potter that
Mhm.
fit the bill that are extremely
Okay.
important to the story. But why are you
Okay.
doing it with one of the biggest characters and one of the most influential characters in the entire story? Why are you doing that?
because they felt like it.
No,
It's
because
not that big. It's not that big of a deal to me.
I
That's
don't-
what I'm saying. Like for
like,
me, it's not
I
that
think
big
it's
of
a
a deal.
big deal because it's like when you create something,
Mhm.
all right, you have a vision for it. Just
Yeah.
like Snape, like I can't write a story and just change the races because depending on how you write something, where they grow up, their backstory, literally how they look is going to be affected in a different way. Just like in Snape
I've
in the
been
books,
trying
they
to
talk about
understand
how
that,
his
D.
greasy hair is actually a plot point in multiple parts of the story where like it blinds him a little bit or that's the reason why they bully him, like it makes him weird, like he hides himself like as a curtain, like there all these details that they erased is because they casted somebody else, so they have to actually write a completely different character to fit the casting instead of the actor fitting the role.
Okay.
They fit the role to the actor. That's the problem. You can't.
I'm still
fit the
not
role to
seeing.
the
I'm still
actor.
not seeing it. I'm still not seeing an issue with it personally. But again, we don't.
okay,
We can move on. We can move on. We don't have to stay
okay,
here.
let me just ask you this then. If Batman,
Mm-hmm.
we've read Batman, and then they launch Batman, and it's a black dude with a trench coat
Been there.
and a spyglass with a top hat, is that Batman to you?
No,
And with
I just
no
then I
Batman.
just won't watch it. That's what you know what, like if it's not my Batman and I have that much of an issue with it, guess what? I don't have to watch it.
Yeah,
I
because
agree.
you
You
don't
don't have
agree
to
with it.
watch it, but I think it's important
Yeah.
to point these things out because then
If it's
everything.
not for me,
then-
but there
Yeah.
is someone in this world that is going to like that version of Batman, then let
But
them
then it's
have
not
it.
Batman. They could literally just change
That's
the name.
fine.
They're using
That's
Batman
fine.
for the success.
I
They're using the
have
name
had
Batman.
my version of
Yeah.
Batman for as long as I could humanly breathe on this planet. So now, if I get a version that I don't agree with, that someone else may enjoy, what the fuck do I care?
No, a
the fuck
version
do I
is a
care?
version. When something is completely different that has nothing to do with Batman, that's a problem.
That's
Because it's not
not
Batman.
that's not a problem
Dude.
for me. That's not an issue for me. I just want to watch it. It's not an issue. I just
Okay,
want
it's
to watch
one.
it.
It's fine. You don't have to watch
Yeah,
it. What I'm saying,
I just want to engage in it.
it's important to talk about this stuff because
Yeah.
they're the ones
Signal.
that are taking this and they have an agenda. They have a point for this stuff. They're not doing this on a whim. They're not doing this because they are like your knight in shining armor and they believe they need representation and everything. They're doing this for other reasons, and they're not.
No, I'm not ignoring
reasons,
that. I'm not ignoring
you know?
that.
And it's important to point that out.
I actually named the reason for that. So, like I said,
There's
if
a
they
black
came out with
Superman.
this,
There's a black Batman.
if they came out with this Batman and you had a
Mhm.
fucking brain aneurysm over this shit, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, because if it's not for me, I just won't watch it. I won't engage in it. I won't sit here and say, "Oh,
There's also
fuck them for
Signal.
doing that," or "They're
Yeah,
wrong for doing that." No, that someone is going to like this version of Batman. Why can't they have their version of a Batman? I've had my version of Batman for all of my 40-something years on this fucking planet. I can go watch Batman,
Yeah.
the Batman that I like. I can go read the comic books of the Batman that I like. I can go
But
play the
like,
video
things
game
shouldn't
of the Batman
be catered
that I
to
like.
everybody. If you're not
It's-
like,
hey.
I'm not a fan of Dune. I don't want to go
Travis
take
Scott.
Dune and make Dune something I like. Whoever's the fan of Dune should be fans of Dune because of how Dune is. Whoever's a fan of Lord of the Rings should be fans of Lord of the Rings because of how it is. You shouldn't be try to grab something and change it from what it was originally intended to be.
Well,
Like, you can progress it, you can
Listen.
fix certain like plot details,
this point-
whatever. But if
at
you
this
want
point-
something else, you make something else.
at this point, I just think we're talking in circles. And again, I don't see a big deal. I don't think I am the gatekeeper for any IP that I don't fucking own. And I'm not that much invested in anything to where it's that big of a deal to me. Like,
Dude,
if they
I just
want,
think
if they want to
creativity-
make something that would cater to a different group, fine. Why not?
Like,
Why
no,
can't-
making
why can't
something
they-
that caters to a different group is fine. Just don't take something that already exists.
Well,
Like,
I'm sorry
as
to tell
much
you,
as I
brother.
as much as I hate Zack Snyder and
Look,
you
look,
guys
watch,
know
watch.
Rebel
Let me
Moon?
jump in. Let me jump in.
Wait, hold on.
No,
You know
let me
Rebel-
jump in. Let me
Rebel
jump in. I
Moon?
haven't even said
Well-
anything in the last like 20 minutes.
I know, but you know
Let me
Rebel Moon?
jump in. Let me jump in. No. Let me jump in.
Like, it sucks,
I'm
but
done.
at
You
least
guys
he did
go
an
at it,
original
yo.
thing, man.
No, I mean,
Like,
it doesn't.
it
Look,
sucks,
watch,
but
watch.
he did an original thing.
Look, two things. One, like I said earlier, every time you involve someone when it becomes race, there's a different upbringing and that matters. That really matters on the way the character is developed and it changes because each person
Yeah.
is different by personality, by nurture. Let's just go with that. That's an easier and more concept to argue that we just cannot swap people because we can. It's just they don't do it other than this specific
changes the
situation,
character.
right? Because they're not doing it from a person of color to a white character. They're not doing that in anything. But we don't need that because there's over representation of the Anglo characters all over the place, right? That's just what it is. So yes, proper representation matters. We understand this. It does inspire people of the culture also. It's like watching, I mean, of course it changes from fiction to nonfiction. People are going to look up to, what's that fucking famous soccer player guy, Meziki, or I don't know what his name is. Messi, there you go. They're gonna look up to him.
Messi, dude?
In that, I don't give a fuck. I don't watch soccer, dude. Come on, guys.
Okay.
But they're gonna look up to him because it's a real human being. Comic
Mm.
books is different. We all look up to Superman. We all look up to Captain America because a lot of the nuclear families that grew up in that nature looked up to these characters as grandparents and whatnot. And then it ranges because a lot of people aren't comic book fans, and then they start getting into different ones. Batman is a huge fucking person that a lot of people are fans of, and he's just a token ass white guy. So let's just call a spade a spade. It sucks because there was something that was placed there already, and they're changing it because the current dynamic of the world does this way too much, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Name a character that it worked with. That's it. Like, I just want to call it out there. Name a character that it worked with.
Yeah,
To
none.
you. To you.
Yeah, that's fine. To me, yeah, that's fine. But
To
like,
you.
It hasn't
But
worked.
again,
Financially, it hasn't
yeah,
worked.
to me, that's fine.
Creatively,
But I'm
it
just
hasn't
saying.
worked.
and
at
I'm
all.
not,
wait,
I'm not
I'm not jumping the
arguing
gun
that.
and saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's, to me, it's cheap play by the studio.
Yeah.
Because people fall into it and they're like, oh, representation and blah blah, but they don't care about that. They just want to put
They
those
also
people in
don't
the
care
seats.
about what happens to the actor. The
They
problem.
just want to put those
I'm
people in
talking
the
about
seats
studio. I'm
because
not talking
again,
about the actors.
they do not change the culture origin of the story. They did it for Namor, and I explained that. And there's I'm not lying about it. You could see.
So there
it.
goes your answer. So there goes your answer right there. You said which one worked, and that right there is an answer. That
They
works.
changed the whole origin of the story. Now, if they do that with
Okay.
Snape, will it fix the
and
character?
who's
Relic.
talking
Let me
about
ask
Namor
Relic
now?
this, because to
No one's
Brian,
talking
it doesn't
about
seem like you care they race swapped him. So I don't care because I'm not gonna watch it because
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
think
watch it either.
I don't think Harry Potter needs to be reworked because it already has something that is already a classic, a masterpiece. I could literally go and watch it right now on stream, or I can pull out the fucking box set that I own and just watch them.
I think this
Is
is
it cool?
the point.
I thought
though,
it was
Chris.
just as cool as Percy Jackson. I'm a huge Percy Jackson fan, and they just redid it, and it fucking sucks. Like, it fucking sucks. And yeah, they did some race swapping bullshit or whatever. I didn't really care, but the show sucked. Like, the show
This is making my point though, guys. Is that no one here is watching the show. So
Relic,
why
are you gonna
the-
watch it?
I'm gonna watch it. I
Oh,
still
fuck,
like.
dude. I'm gonna have to ask
Okay.
you then. Dude.
Well, I
Yeah,
still
okay.
think that.
So like
there's
if
gonna
I'm
be
not
some-
gonna watch
yeah.
it, if I don't plan on watching this show, and Chris, you don't plan on watching this show, then why the fuck do we care who gets race swapped?
But no, I mean, I get the
I'm not
idea
telling
to
you
be
guys to
able to
care.
look. Watch. I
I'm
get
not
the idea.
asking you, Relic.
Yeah.
Like I'm asking because you're someone that's gonna watch this, so
Yeah.
it would make sense for you to give a shit,
Mhm.
right? Although I disagree with your point, it would make sense for you to feel a certain way. But Chris, you and I, we have no plans on watching this show, so why the fuck would we care what color the fuck Snape is? Who gives a shit?
For me, it's just the factor that it's not the first time, and it's not going to be definitely not the last time either that they do this, right? And
So
I'm
it's
just
not
saying,
it's
like,
not the fact that they're doing it, it's the fact that they're doing it again, basically.
it's
And you're just tired of it, and you're tired of this bullshit.
100%. Yeah, I'm just
All right,
tired of it
So then
because
just say that. So then
Wait,
just
no,
say that shit.
wait,
So
hold
just
on,
be like,
wait,
yo, I'm tired of this
because they're
bullshit.
using
Hold on.
race as a weapon.
wait,
Okay.
let me
All
put
right.
this out there, guys. I've literally said that it doesn't matter to me. I'm not sitting
Okay.
on the side that it matters. It's not hurting my feelings. If they made Snape a black dude, they can make him fucking orange. I don't give a fuck. Like, I really
Okay.
just don't. Like, it's just the factor on, again, when you change a character's race, it's not just based on skin color, it's based on the entire culture of the character. That's what I believe. If you have a white Snape and you have a black Snape and you have an Asian Snape, do you think they're all going to be raised the exact same way in the household to be this weird, obnoxious, emo looking dude that doesn't
But
talk
Chris-
to people and do autistic shit or something? No, he doesn't.
If I don't plan on watching it,
Why do I care?
what the fuck do I care?
Yeah, I'm not. Well,
I continuously to ask this question. Like if I'm not watching it, but someone else that is going to watch it gets enjoyment
Wait,
out
that-
of it, let them get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah,
I don't
100%.
care.
I'm not
But
saying
that
that's not
argument
I'm
doesn't
not
make
saying that's
sense.
bad.
Like, look,
I've never
I-
said that's bad.
I
that's
am
even
not
sitting
a
on the
Wonder
argument.
Man fan. Okay, they race swapped him. Okay,
Who?
I'm not a Wonder Man fan. All right, but I think it's important for whoever was the fan, whoever is the fan. The only reason these things exist and have money is because the fans liked it in the first place and spent the money. Okay.
On Wonder Man?
Okay. Yes, Wonder Man, but whatever property you want to choose, the only reason it's successful is because first, good writing.
brought
Second,
him
good
up.
story. Third, the customers spent their money. They're hard-earned
Well,
money.
I mean,
to-
third of all, the actor's
support
bigger
it,
than the
right?
comic book character.
Huh?
Like, the actor that they chose to play Wonder Man in the real
No,
live
I
action
get that. I
is
get that.
way
Wonder Man
bigger
is
than the
not
comic
a
book character.
popular-
So he didn't.
Okay,
We were lucky to get that guy in the
Okay,
Marvel
look.
universe.
my point
Not to be
isn't-
rude. I mean,
My point no, my point isn't that. My point is that whoever is the fan, that's who needs to be respected. If I am the only Iron Man fan
Yeah.
in the world,
Exactly, D.
right?
Yeah,
And
me
I'm
Exactly.
the
too.
only Iron Man fan in the
I agree
world.
with you.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
gonna
D.
be pissed because I grew up with this dude. I'm the one that spent the money to be a fan of this. So why change it? Because then it's no longer the thing that it was originally. So
And
it's not
and
about
that's
not having representation or
and what
or
I'm
having
saying is,
representation.
what I'm saying is, there's nothing wrong with that, and that, and there's
True.
nothing wrong with that whatsoever, in my eyes. You know, again, if you feel a certain way about that, and you're a stickler for wanting it to not change and not progress, I understand that.
No, like
But
I
for
is my thing is I question why it was done in the first place. They
But
knew
we
they were
know
gonna
why
get
it's done.
backlash.
We
No,
know why it's done. We know why it's done. Like, we don't have to sit here and wonder why. Yes, everything you said is true. They are making money off of it. They are trying to cater to a certain group, to a certain
Target
demographic.
audience. Target audience.
We listen. We're like, I understand what you're saying. Like, I get it. I'm not saying that it's just one thing. I only just said that it's good to have representation. Now, whether it's for other reasons, fine. I don't give a
yeah,
shit.
no.
If we
I
get
think it's
representation, that's fine. I just wanted to get to some. They're cooking in the chat right now. So glad we actually talked about this. But yeah, so I'm saying, like D said. Well, thanks, Vince. Me and
by
Vince,
the way, Harry
me,
Potter show's not
me,
made for the big screen.
me and Vince usually align with a lot of this stuff. D Vargas, what about the fan who doesn't care about race and only cares about the story? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
what
but
difference?
the how they were written is part of the story, especially when this character specifically, and I'm pointing this out, he everything that he goes through and how he goes
Harry
through it,
Potter.
literally to his fingernails and the way they're shaped, and his eyes, his hair, the way his skin looks in specific lighting and in the dark, plays multiple instances in the story and how Harry, Hermione, Ron react. That you
Yeah, well,
cannot, you're gonna have to change so much of the story, even if it's a good story. It again is no longer the character that we knew. It's no longer Snape. Like, it's disingenuous. If you representation is not a bad thing.
it's
Having
not
people of multiple races is not a
disingenuous.
bad thing.
They're just taking. It's not disingenuous. They're just
So
having a different take on the character.
Just to
they're
show what
changing
he's
the
talking about,
having a
guys.
different take
Here's
is one thing.
here it is from the book. In the Harry Potter book, Severus Snape is consistently described as a thin man with shallow, pale, yellowish skin, a large hooked nose, shoulder length, greasy black hair, and that frames his face. He's often compared to a bat or a spider. He wears long, flowing black robes and possesses cold, dark, and empty eyes.
Yeah,
Well,
but that's only one. They
just so
said
we just get
multiple
an
times
idea of what he's talking about.
for
I
the
just wanted
plot.
to-
And what I'm saying is, I want representation if the story fits it. Okay, like if I'm gonna write a Viking story, I'm not going to race swap a bunch of people because I'm doing Vikings. The reason why the Vikings are one way is because there's some truth to it, there's a history to it, and they are a specific race. So I'm not going to use the word Vikings if I'm going to put in a fantasy element where we already know the connection to it. So we already have a connection to Snape, and there are really good characters that they could have done.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
another thing. This is a non-fictional character. Like, again, like,
That's
who cares? If this
I
was
care.
a real if this was
You
a real
should
per-
care.
if this was a real person, I get what you're saying, but
They
this is
do
like
it
a
with real people too. Like I think it's a
okay.
weak.
eh,
I think it's a weak
Again,
argument because if you're gonna
again,
race swap them, why race swap them in the first place? If you want
because
representation,
it's
great.
a non-fic because it's
There's
a
characters in the
non-fictional
book
character.
that
That's
are
why, 'cause it doesn't
important.
matter.
But no,
No,
it does
because
matter. There's
it
characters in
does.
the book that's important, so there's no
All
need to
right.
race swap.
Well,
They do it
listen.
for a purpose that is
You are
not
going to,
genuine.
my friend, you are going, let me just tell you right now, with the way that the world is heading, right? You are going to have to start tapering your expectations because this is the world that we're living in now, right? So you can't fight every battle, right? So it's going
Yeah.
to be Snake today, right? And it's going to be somebody else tomorrow. Like,
Well, look,
and again,
let's
you
take
don't
it back.
have
But
to
it
watch
Let's
it.
take it back.
it wasn't
I
always that way.
understand.
Watch,
I
hold on.
understand. And times are changing, is what I'm saying. So just say you're racist, bro.
That's just I think that's just an American perspective
He
because
said,
that's
just say you're
they do this for the
racist, bro.
world.
Smiley, chill out.
I'm just
dude.
letting you know, right? Like, that's how you're sounding. Like, I'm trying to like give you an out here. Like you like I'm trying to have this conversation with you,
Yeah.
but like you're coming off as like just look at the comments, bro. Like just look at the comments. I'm just saying like that's all that I'm saying. And I'm just saying and for me, I'm jumping off the shit because I'm not planning on watching this shit anyway. Like I'm like I'm not watching shit anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. I'm just letting you know how this conversation is looking to people, and just letting you know that.
Hmm. Well, I disagree. Like you could see it that way. Totally get it because of your perspective, right? Fine. But what I'm saying is we should have whatever representation you want in there. Just don't switch it from a character. Like
I
if
understood.
I if
Yeah, I don't
I'm
need
going to if
leftovers.
I'm gonna have Black
I got it.
Panther as a
Yeah, that's
character,
for me. I
why
don't.
would I
I
make
just
him
don't need
white?
leftovers.
You know what I mean? Like we don't need leftovers. I talked about this before. Like it is bad because it's the white guy's leftovers is what you're giving the black dude. And then why aren't we doing it with other races then? Because if the studio decides to switch Black Panther Blade to a white guy, it like crap's
Well,
gonna hit the fan, man.
Then
look,
no, then I just won't watch it. That's
You
yeah,
won't
that,
watch
that,
it, but
you
I
that's
think
just
it's
just
yeah, you
important.
just
that's
won't
I think it's
subscribe
important
to
to
it or
point
yeah,
it
something.
out.
yeah, I just won't
I think
give it
look,
any
look,
energy.
hold on,
You're
hold on.
over here,
Let me
busting
talk. I think
you're over here
hold
busting
up.
a brain vessel over this shit. Like I just
But
won't
Because it's
watch it.
important, man. This
yeah,
is like
for
one of the
Brian,
biggest
wait, for Brian
characters
though,
in
not.
wait, because
fantasy. This is
It's
for
one of
not
the
Brian,
important.
biggest characters in fantasy, man.
It's not.
And
It's
I'm
for
a
not
him
fan
it
of
important.
is.
this.
For
It's
Brian,
not.
It
but that's
is.
the thing is for him it is.
This
For
it's
Okay.
really
Relic, it's
big.
important. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
And
Like,
I'm
and
Like
that's why it's
Harry
not
understanding that.
important
Potter.
to us.
Harry
I'm
Potter,
Look at
understanding
that's
that.
Relic.
multiple
You
generations.
asked me a
Yeah.
specific question: is if they race swap Black Panther, and I gave you a very total answer, a total honest answer. I just won't subscribe to it. I
Yeah, I
won't
just
give
want
it.
Yeah,
subscribe.
yeah,
I
that's
won't give it.
fine. That's
I
fine.
won't
You
give it
could do it.
energy. I won't sit here
Yeah, yeah.
and sound like it's the end of the
But
world
that's your prerogative.
because
I'm not saying it's
because
the end of the world. I'm
like
I'm saying
I'm not gonna
that it's
Like,
sit
all right,
not.
here.
guys, this is
I'm
Black
saying
Panther.
that we do have to talk about it because it's like
We're talking about it.
the importance of keeping things the way it was originally written is not only important just because it's fantasy, but it's because it's been created already. We should
Okay.
preserve creativity. We should want
Okay.
people to be creative. Write
This
more
looks
comics. Write more
making
characters.
Snake Black looks fucking creative to me, bro. See how they play this shit off. So if you want to get more creative than that, I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
I don't know what gets more creative than that, brother. So
yeah.
you're gonna
I was gonna
lose.
say,
You're gonna
I think
lose
we're on
me
the
on the
same boat
creative
as
That's
to
part.
be
lazy.
like, well, fuck,
You're
they're
gonna
gonna do
you're
it.
gonna
I want to see how they're gonna pull this shit off.
you're gonna lose me on the
I ain't
creative
that
part on
fucking
that one.
creative, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
would
ain't that
not touch
dude.
that. I'm
Yeah.
not that creative. I would not
Yeah.
want to take on that battle. To be honest with you,
I would
so
have played a kid gloves and just chose another fucking Snape looking dude. Yeah.
he would have been the milkiest, whitest
Yeah,
motherfucker on the
Kylo Ren.
planet, bro.
Yeah.
It would have been Kylo Ren all over again.
Dude,
bro.
like I would have picked Adam Driver for sure. Like dude, it's like the thing is I find it so weird that American media loves to do this stuff because they know what they're doing. Like I spoke on politics before of like the corruption
Liz.
in Brazil versus the corruption here in the US and how all of this stuff was already starting to play out. And one things that didn't work in Brazil was the media and representation because everybody was just Brazilian. Because we saw it that way. We were all connected by our family and the sense of not only religion but struggle too because it's a second world country. There's a lot of problems in Brazil, right? And then here, there's so many. It's so good that they're trying to create problems when everybody all they have to do is just work hard and move forward. Like life sucks for everybody. There's different levels to it. Great, but whatever you feel is important. And the thing is, with all this race swap and stuff, is that you know that it's gonna hurt the actor. You know that it's gonna hurt reputation. You know that the studios aren't doing this because it's genuine. And I think it's important to point out because that is more racist than actually just casting the right person for the job. Like they're casting people because of how they look, not because they have the right skills, not
We don't know
because
that.
of their
We don't know
merit.
that.
You,
We don't
you
know
do
that.
know
Yeah,
that.
apparently this
Don't know
actor's
that.
really fucking
Yeah,
well
we don't
connected.
know that. That is your assumption. We haven't even seen the show. Let the show come out and then let them bomb
Yeah,
before
but
you say
the
that
thing is,
that we got the wrong guy.
like my perspective isn't just from like this is I'm just taking this show. We've seen it throughout Hollywood for a good amount of years, and that's what creates your ideology, your idea of what's going on, right?
Fair.
Like it's not it's like we talked about James Gunn. Like I don't believe he could write a children's book after watching Peacemaker. You know, I don't believe he's not gonna put any cussing in his movies when he puts it in every single movie. And he even does interviews saying that like he wants to be the first guy with an F word in Marvel, and that's like a goal of his. Like that's not somebody that I'm gonna just believe like, oh, he wants to write a children's book, and so I'm just gonna take it like, let's wait till it comes out. Like, no, it's probably gonna be not for children. So I'm saying like because of everything that's happened in Hollywood, because they've done things that we know was disingenuous, that this feels disingenuous. This is not good. This is that like they didn't need to have all this backlash. They didn't need to have all this stuff going on. But it's a huge stain in the current property that they're doing. They're not being genuine because there's other characters that they never need to race off that are super important to the story. Because if you're gonna argue about representation, have those characters be at the front light. Like you don't have to replace anybody.
Got
You
it.
could just add story. That's
All
it.
right. Listen, I'm telling you, I get where you're coming from. At no point in this conversation did you ever lose me on your point. I just think that you have a hill and you're willing to stick to it and die on it. And I'm just letting you know, for me, I don't see that. I don't see it as that. I don't think there's any
Yeah.
property in the world where it's that big of a deal to me personally.
I
And
think
yeah,
my
I come
perspective comes
I
from
just, let me
like
just let me
studying
just let me
history.
finish really quick. Just let me
Yeah.
finish, and this will be the last thing I'm gonna say because we've already driven this into the ground. We can
Yeah.
I don't even know if we're going to another fucking topic after this
Oh
because
no,
we
I'm,
just
I'm going to. I'm not
but I'm
touching
just
on
gonna
that.
say, like, I do think that representation is important. Although other people may have different ideologies on that. I just don't think that someone else's enjoyment needs to come at my expense when I have
Mm,
had years and years of enjoyment with a specific character,
yeah.
whether it be Wolverine, whether it be Snape, whether it be Cyclops. Like, I have my representation of or my version of that character. If I ever feel like I'm losing that, I can go back and watch that iteration of that character and
Yeah.
be totally fine. If there's a new iteration of a character that gives another kid that views the world differently, that is growing up differently from me, if it's giving that person enjoyment, then I'm all for it. I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, no, fuck that kid because it's not the same character that I know, that I love. That's not how I was
Yeah.
raised. That's not how I'm raising my kids. That's not how I want the world to be. Everyone on this planet should feel a sense of the enjoyment I got when I was reading comics as a
Yeah. I
kid,
agree. I
when
agree.
I was watching movies as a kid. Everyone deserves that. So who am
Yeah.
I to take that away from someone just because it's not the same color? That's just my thoughts. I'm gonna leave it at that, and you
Yeah.
guys can
I'm
finish off
not.
this topic.
I'm not gonna keep going into that. I'll tell you an experience when I had a Lego store. Um, some people were concerned that I was going to point out how like Disney Star Wars sucks because we had a bunch of minifigs and sets that were from the Disney era, and like luckily the employee and me as well. We just talked. We didn't lie to the kid, but we just told the kid like, "Oh man, you like that? That's awesome! Like, have fun. Like here it is. Have this free thing, whatever." And I don't think it was ever about enjoyment. I think you could enjoy anything, and you can enjoy it more so when it's done properly. That's all. Like I think that should happen because I think that promotes creativity for people to do their own thing. Because I don't want another Harry Potter show 5 years from now, and then another Harry Potter show 5 years after that one. Like I don't like remakes. I think it's lazy. Like if we screwed up with the first one, fine. Maybe 20, 30 years down the road, maybe got better technology, awesome. But why can't we like create our own things by being inspired from the things that came before? Like this is the vision of one author. And one of my perspectives is that I speak multiple languages, right? So I like to study history in multiple languages, and I see that especially like American history, like a lot of it's wrong. But then you have to go study back in other languages to see if that's even wrong or if you're wrong. And it's always bothered me that like a lot of people's visions are skewed because they've only know one language, they've only studied one way, they only think one way, and they couldn't see other perspectives. And I'm all right with all these perspectives that we've been talking about, but I just think that the best thing to do is move forward instead of backwards. not replace anything, keep things as how it is, and then make something that's better, but not necessarily the same property. Like I want more comic books. It doesn't all have to be Marvel superheroes. It doesn't always have to be DC superheroes. I want more comics. You know,
Fair.
like I want a new universe. I want new things.
Chris
Reboot
is all over that
2027,
shit.
Starship
Yeah, I'm
Troopers.
100% a reboot for Starship Troopers, dude.
You would
Harry
hate it.
bags for money. That's all I want.
I would fucking love it,
J.K.
dude.
Rowling actually said that one of the she always says some nonsense, but she said that she wanted to change the lore at one point to make Harry get.
Yeah,
what
and
he
that's the
wanted.
other. Okay, so that's the thing that I was going to bring up before everything got super fucking crazy, right? Like, we had the same situation happen in Ghost of the Shell a while back, right? Where they brought in Scarlett Johansson, and everyone was like, "Well, why not an Asian actress? Like, why whitewash them and all this other stuff?" But she was chosen by the actual guy who created Ghost in the Shell. This actor is actually chosen by J.K. Rowling to represent the next generation of Snape actor for the next generation of kids. So, what do we as fans have valued more than the person who created this character and wants to do this? Shouldn't we just trust her because we trusted her with the first franchise, the first part of the franchise?
I mean, you.
I'm
she's
like, I'm looking at it. I
depends
mean,
if
That's what I'm
she's
saying, like-
established
I
something
fucking
before.
if J.K. Rowling said yes,
Well,
It
you're
depends
saying-
if she established something before
Yeah,
and then changed
well,
her
you're
mind
what
saying-
do
later.
I
You know,
what do I get to say about it? You know what I mean?
That's
That's
what
all I'm saying.
that's my point. that's my entire point. Like, I don't see the big deal. Like that, you shouldn't be asking Relic that question because to me, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's my
Well,
point. Like, who are we to question the choices that are being made to the characters that they are in possession of? Like, I don't.
I mean, I mind you,
Apparently.
mind you the fact that I think someone said earlier that this chick's fucking bonkers or whatever.
Yeah.
So like
yeah, J.K. Rowling's a
Relic
freak.
being a fan of the series
Mhm.
and knowing that this was a personal choice of the person who created this franchise, who created the character of Snape, and it wants to make this, you know, a big decision, mind you, knowing that it might, you know, tear asunder into the fan base. What is it that we need to work against this character when she made this choice or this creator? Like
Absolutely.
what
Are you
value
talking
do
about
we
J.K.
have to
Rowling?
have an opinion based on it?
No, I think it's important to, like, George Lucas fought on this back in the day.
Yeah, he got
Or
bought
he-
out though. He chose to be a
No,
bitch. He
Yeah,
chose
yeah,
to
yeah,
cut
yeah.
corners.
No, but he talked about like he didn't want.
I mean, mind you, he made like a fucking $1 billion, bro. He's not a bitch. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
No,
Like,
but he said he
I
didn't want
I
it
digress from
re-edited.
calling him a bitch, but like,
No, because
Like, he made
at
a
the
fucking lot of
time
money.
in the back in the 80s, there was like a lot of things being re-edited instead of being relaunched.
Yeah.
Or like have a different version. That's why we have like the regular Superman 2 and then the Donner cut, right? Instead of just taking the first one and then changing it and acting like history never happened.
yeah, D. I mean,
So-
if you want to come
I'm
on,
about
you
to
can-
get.
So I
I'm
think
about to say because
even-
I'm about to get off. It's almost 12. My time.
Yeah, I know it's late. I mean, D, if you want to come on with us, that's fine. I know Brian's about to call it a night. I mean, let me know in the comments if you want. I can send you a link. You can jump on with us, bro. We were just
Yeah,
on
I'll-
the fucking.
I'll be here whenever you. Like,
Yeah,
we'll fall
Relic's
off, man.
on with me late, anyways. Yeah, so
Yeah. But no, I enjoy the conversation because I like seeing different perspectives. Like I'm not. I
Yeah, of
wasn't trying
course.
to change
Facts.
Brian's mind. I'm not. I want
Yeah.
to point that out, make that clear. Even though apparently I'm a racist now. I'm the average boy's designated racist.
no, dude, don't say. Don't
You got
even fucking
You got
say
it.
that, bro.
Hey man, fuck it.
I do not
gotta
see
own it,
you.
dude.
I'm saying own it. Honestly, bro. Like,
I do
I'm
not-
prepared to kiss my ass.
I don't see you in that nature. I see you
like,
as a person who has
man.
concerns, and
No,
that's
I think
it.
I think the chat they're being funny. Maybe if they do think of me as that, like that sucks. But
Nah,
it
bro,
is
they're
what it
just
is.
they're just swinging dicks, bro. Like they're just out there hanging out.
No, but
they're
like,
one of the
if-
boys, dude. All of us are all the same. None of us, and that's why the show's called The Average Boys, because none of
I
us.
don't know, man. I've gotten
are-
some people in my live streams, and all I was doing was playing video games, and they were hating on me like hard. They're like, man,
But
no
that's
charisma,
just
you
people's
hate, whatever.
opinions, bro. No one's gonna
They're
choose to hate
there
you here
every
like
chat.
that. Like they could just call. It's just like us.
Yeah.
This is our casual conversation. We're just here drinking and calling it shit. Like me and
No,
Brian have
dude,
called each
dude,
other
dude,
names
we're
before.
all good. We're all good.
I mean, it's the same
Like,
shit. You're not a racist to me, dude.
No,
I don't
dude,
think that.
Relax.
Don't think
relax.
that.
I don't.
Cool thing
we're
is
having
you
fun
stand on
here. We're
business. Like you're there
having
and you're
fun,
trying
yeah.
to like you're standing on your works. So that to me
like-
that means a lot more than anything.
Yeah,
So
like the thing is like with J.K. Rowling, even if she's we change as life goes on, right? George R. R. Martin talks about it like the longer you take to write your book, the more ideas are gonna contradict your previous ideas, right? Like George R. R. Martin wants to like bring back some characters to life just because he's in a different place in his life. Like just because you're in a different place in your life doesn't mean you should just change what you've written before. Hey, remember creativity. Why don't you just create another story instead of change what came before? You know, make a sequel, or maybe make a whole different universe. Do something else. She did that with the Fantastic Beasts. You know, like originally Dumbledore, like we didn't know anything about his sensuality, but after the books were about to release, she's like, yeah, he's gay, and then that was just it. Like she got free reign to change whatever she wants. Should she? I don't think so. Regardless if you're the one that created it, like 10 years from now, she's gonna have a different mindset and gonna want to change something else. And then 10 years after that, if she's still alive, she's gonna want to change something else. That's just human nature. And,
I think
if something was solid in the first hand.
I think the point in the comment that Chris was making is like your entire argument or basis was to not change what the lore is, and the person that created the lore is the one that's changing it. So that's that kind of it kind of just it kind of just
that's the thing that shits on us podcasters when we do this shit. Cause it's like, again, it was like Ghost in the Shell, man. Like that was the funniest conversation I heard people do. Cause a bunch of people are like, that's not fair. Like, Colonel should have been Asian and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, the director saw the opportunity to hire the highest grossing female action star and didn't take two fucking shits to say yes. Like didn't take two fucking shits. So again, J.K. Rowling, like maybe when she wrote Harry Potter, she was surrounded by a bunch of yes men that told her she had to keep it, you know, vanilla. And now that she's out there and the cultures have changed and things are more accessible, being LGBT, being, you know.
Well, she was actually just trying to survive when she was writing Harry Potter.
If that's the case, that's on her call as an entrepreneur and as a creator. She's going to make that choice on her own. It's like you said, Fantastical Beast was this and that, but like that movie sucked. It didn't make it. Yeah. It didn't make it, and those choices she made. So that 100% gives her the idea that she's like, fuck, this movie didn't make me money like Harry Potter did. Harry Potter's still good, but I don't like it because it doesn't go with my current dynamic and how I believe it's supposed to be. So you know what? Like, I'm not going to change the movies. They're there. All the actors are out-aged of this. The fucking kids are already like grandparents. They all were going to come back and play themselves in a later series, which was cool. But she's like, but you know what? There's a lot of shit I missed and I want to make it into something. What do I do? And, you know, Prime or HBO approached her and they were like, we could do a show. Percy Jackson did it. But Percy Jackson, I'm telling you, like, I was fucking excited for Percy Jackson because it's a great series and I like the Greek mythology and all that shit. Did it work? No, it fucking sucked. And it's there now. You know, these things like J.K. Rowling is going to approach this as best as she can. If it doesn't work and no one likes it, she's going to say it's because there was a certain dynamic of person that told it what they wanted to be not successful. Instead of taking accountability and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe the show wasn't as good. You know what I mean? It's easy to jump. It's the same thing I had the problem with Arthur, right? Or the Joker movies. The guy, when he was approached that the movie sucked, he made it seem like everything was a double-ended question and we don't know. And, oh, was it in his mind or not or whatever? And then when someone says, no, that scene that he did, that was really good. They were like, right, dude, because he's a fucking crazy person. When he was approached in a positive nature, he was happy about it. When he was approached in a negative aspect, he was a mysterious fucking, ooh, it's fucking, is this psychology in the right? And then in the second movie, he just fucked it all up. He just fucked the whole movie up. So like, again, as creators, it's easy for us to have opinions because we are just fans. If this chick wants to make Snape an amputated black man with 3 arms and 2 legs or 1 leg or whatever the fuck, she can 100% do that.
Saying what you can and can't do.
Because there's no way that me, and I've talked to Brian about this too, like I am not a book writer. I've never created a story that's made billions of dollars in anything. This is the chick that did it. She did the format. If she thinks this is going to work, she has a way better chance at saying it will than I do. You know what I mean? Like that's just through and through. If she 100% is excited for this gentleman to play Snape, then I have to trust her until I see it on my own. Like, that's just through and through. That's my
I think you
take on
have
it.
to trust her.
Yeah,
I think
you
it's
have to.
That's her
Because I'm not
decision.
making the fucking more Harry Potter book. She doesn't have to trust me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have to trust her decision. That's
Well, it's
it.
kind of like George Lucas. You know, who knew the least about Star Wars was pretty much George Lucas at the end there, especially with the EU. So what did he do? He actually had to hire fans, and a lot of them rejected it because they knew that he was going to be kind of a dictator till the point where he hired Dave Filoni, and Dave Filoni was somewhat of a real fan, and you know, you need that. Sometimes you write something that's so great. George R. R. Martin did it. Tolkien did it. But Tolkien was just a different creature.
Well, I was gonna say then that goes against
yeah.
the argument we had about Stephen Colbert. Then, like, you have to stand on
No,
business.
it's not.
Yeah,
going
because you're
against
saying
the
that
argument.
that it's better to hire fans, and Stephen Colbert is a fan apparently that I didn't know about.
I didn't say it's better to hire fans. I said if you don't know, sometimes the fans know more than the original creator because they create something so great that they couldn't even keep up with.
Well, maybe Stephen Colbert does it.
George Lucas did. Well, trust me, man. There's like actual scholars that know Lord of the Rings like it's the back of their hand. It's insane.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dudes that I know in the Valley too that are just stinky dudes that know the Lord of the Rings. They call themselves scholars too. I think I'm a scholar of comic books, but I'm not like there's not a fucking degree for hey man, I graduated in Lord of the Ring arts. Fucking,
you know, but
there's no scholar. There's no fucking scholar about it. They're fans.
No, but like for instance, like George Lucas, when he approved all the EU stuff, he hired people that had credibility.
He also told the Darth Vader
fans.
guy. He also told the guy from the Darth Vader Sabers guy, which I think is cool that he made a fan film, that his film was cool, but nah, fuck that. I'm gonna sue you if you put it out because you tried to make money off of my IP. He's still a businessman. He can hire all the fans. He said,
like, as long as you don't make money,
Star Wars Theory.
Star Wars Theory, yeah. He got to meet George Lucas, and George Lucas was like,
that wasn't George Lucas. That wasn't George Lucas.
Well, whoever the fuck he met. He met someone that worked that was really high up there. That was like, hey man, we're not gonna lie, that was fucking cool.
That was after 2012. That was Disney because
it doesn't change the purpose of me saying that someone up there liked this shit, but being a fan wasn't just enough. Bringing him on and bringing him.
Okay, wait. Let me finish what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, what did George Lucas do? He hired people, and then he didn't approve the material unless he had like literally what's called a lore master as part of his crew. And it's like, does this fit? And even then, some things fell in the cracks. There's some like things that contradict each other in different books, different series, especially like the X-Wing series and like what's it called? Well, you guys know what I mean. But he was still behind it all, making sure that it all fit in with the original theme, with all the stuff that he personally had his hands on, right? Because he knows the world needed to expand beyond him, but he doesn't have the time to write all that stuff.
You know, this fucking dude created Jar Jar Binks, right?
Yeah.
That shit was way out of fucking whack with the Star Wars universe.
That was a masterpiece. What are you talking about? Jar
Jar Binks?
Like the best character ever.
Yeah, dude, that guy was. I mean,
do you not know the complexities of the cinematic masterpiece that he created, dude?
Are you talking Jar Jar? Yeah, fucking Jar Jar Binks was like that was as interesting as the fucking dude who sold him Anakin, that fucking weird fly dude that was just supposed to be a trope on the Watto? Jewish guy or whatever.
Listen,
yeah, Watto, right?
I've tolerated a lot on this show today. We're not gonna talk.
No, I'm not shitting on it. No, Brian. I know you like the prequels. I'm not shitting on those characters.
Everyone, be careful. We're not shitting.
I love.
No. Fuck no. We're not shitting on it.
Late at night.
The only thing that I'm saying is,
Jar Jar Binks
at that time, George Lucas was kind of in and out of his own bullshit, right? Like he was kind of making mistakes too along the way. Jar Jar Binks was not a highly sought out character in the Star Wars universe, and nor did they do anything good with it. So in that factor, it wasn't a good choice. And that was him. Same thing with Watto. Watto's character being a dude that's not affected by Jedi, affected by the Force at that moment was not a good character because they couldn't do anything with him later anyways.
Yeah, but like I get it, like just for plot device and like
just to move the story. Just to move the story, which is understandable.
Didn't change any of the lore.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like it even though those characters, George Lucas made a lot of fuck ups too.
Yeah.
Like it's just what it is.
Saying he didn't.
Yeah, but in that factor, like it's his creation, he can do whatever he wants. And that's the same thing with J.K. Rowling. She can do whatever she wants. Maybe she'll sell the whole company to Paramount
No,
or
she's
whatever.
never
Yeah,
selling
dude, and
that.
do the same thing George did, rather
she
than.
makes so much money that
Of course.
there's no way she'll ever sell Harry Potter.
That's what we thought George Lucas would do because we thought he loved the fucking
No, but
franchise.
remember, like if you
The
read Bob
fans
Iger's
pushed him
book,
out.
Bob
Yeah,
Iger
100%.
talked about how he like manipulated George Lucas because he would bring up his age and how he's gonna die soon, and then he's like, we're gonna buy all the stuff that you have and we're gonna adapt those into movies and books, and they did none of that stuff. And even George Lucas later came out, called them white slavers in 2015 on 60 Minutes.
Damn,
And said like, yeah, like I had to divorce myself from that because I believe they were gonna do one thing and they did completely else. Like I had faith that this company was gonna keep it alive, make parks,
wiping his tears with his
merchandise,
billions of dollars,
with
bro.
his billions. Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna
It's
say
like, you
like yeah,
bet-
He
fuck
didn't
that.
get 2 fucks, dude.
He got paid. The reason why he left is because the fans totally rejected the prequels, and that was the first of online hate, and it can be traced
And
back to
he
the
got-
prequels.
He got online hate and letters, like, and I made a video about this actually, where George Lucas, like, if you can put yourself in George Lucas' shoes, right? How many people put a good review versus a bad review? Not many. Like the ratio is always going to be way more bad reviews than a good review, right? And so he never got to really experience how much people actually love the prequels, because those fans were just appreciative of the movies they saw. Then they went home and did their thing, you know, went to work, whatever. And then people who were very passionate about it were just hating it, and like to the point where they sent letters. I've never sent a letter to nobody. You know, I've never hated something so bad that I've sent letters. So he felt like his ability to keep writing movies, keep this thing alive. Like he even said in an interview, like, I wanted to make my own stuff, but it was obvious that people didn't like my ideas anymore, and I had to take care of thousands of employees, and they need a future, they need a job. So like I can't just self-grandiose myself into making things I like and taking that risk, because he already wanted to do the museum, he wanted to do other things, and he just felt like he lost his magic.
Sound like he bitched out.
But-
That's what it sounds like.
But it's also like, dude, but
Nah, he got
imagine like
money.
for years all you're getting is hate.
He went for the money. I don't
Yeah,
know.
100%. He went for the money.
I
He
don't
didn't,
know,
listen,
I don't know
he
if
didn't
that's
give two
true.
I
shits.
agree.
He was probably
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, dude."
Fuck this. He was like, fuck this.
But
He was
dude,
probably like
he
third
sold it
movie
for
in,
way-
And he
for
was like, "Fuck,
very
dude! I was
little,
gonna
bro.
have Luke bang his sister. Holy shit! Thank God they just kissed or whatever." And then he was like, "Nah, you know what? I can't see past this. I guess I'll go back and write about some of the shit that's political, but like I don't know what else to do. They already stopped the empire." And then that's it, bro. He was just checked out. He was like, "Nah, I don't know what else to write, dude.
No, he had
Just pay
like
me my
a,
billions, get the
he
fuck
had
out of
a
my
ton
way.
of stuff. He
I
had a
got a
ton of
lake
stuff.
that
He
I
just-
need to chill out on."
I agree that he did it for the money, but he had a ton of stuff, man. He had a lot of things. Like he even filmed part of a show, and he was gonna take it to a production and just sell it. Like, don't change anything. It's already finished. Here we go. Like the Jedi Fallen Order was rehashed of a video game they were in development for Darth Maul. Like there was a lot of things they were working on. It's just, you know, money and, you know, feeling like he's
Star
inadequate
Wars,
to
Sweet
fulfill.
Home Alabama. That's fucking funny. Yeah, man. But I just think, you know, if J.K. Rowling is the person that signed off on this shit, like, who are we to question?
I agree with
It-
Elizabeth, by the way.
We might. What's up? What's
Oh,
up? They
we're the
used
fans.
some of the stuff from the Star Wars books, but also decided to retcon from understanding. So yeah, that was Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, she was just like, "Nah, we ain't having any of that legacy shit. The original 3 and the prequels are what'll stick to watching. That's my hill. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the last trilogy didn't do so hot, so it's just what it is. But again, in that moment, George Lucas kind of had signed off on it, so it's really not
Yeah.
about his choice anymore. Everybody else gets to dictate what they can and can't do it. Whoever sits on that throne. J.K. Rowling sits on the throne. The original creator still sits. You know, Tolkien
Yeah.
doesn't get the opportunity to sit on the throne, but his children do, and his estate does.
Yeah. His
So-
Christopher, that's why they call Christopher Tolkien the best grandson to ever live,
Yeah.
or the
So-
best son to ever live. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, nobody else in his lineage.
Oh,
actually
Soul
cares about
Calibur.
Lord of
Fuck
the
yeah, he was. Yeah, she's absolutely
Yeah.
correct, guys. But yeah, Brian, what do you got, man? So are you gonna bounce out already?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it there, guys. I appreciate the conversation.
I think we can
I
call it there,
always
dude.
I always love these conversations.
I like the depth.
I don't take any of this shit to heart, as you know, Chris.
Yeah, it's
Like
just opinions. It's cool.
I can sit here and just and talk shit all day.
Mhm.
Everybody in the comments, you guys did an amazing job today. You guys
Yeah,
were very
everybody had a
engaged.
good time.
Love to see that shit. You guys were totally engaged. And I think
Mhm.
they were just busting your balls for, like, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure. It's
No,
fine.
no,
That's what we want.
D, it was good to
Yeah.
see you in here today too.
Yeah.
And Liz, listen, it's always a good show when I don't know how often Liz comes in to check in, but I haven't seen her in
Very
here.
little. When the
I
OGs
haven't
come
seen
in,
her
right?
in a minute. So it was always good to get a little
Catch
bit of
up,
Liz and
see
Vince.
everybody.
Always a good time. And Amival has masters and shit talk. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
And
yeah, he's a scholar. Relic. Brian's a
I
scholar.
No, yes.
Yeah.
Now
I
I
think
know
Relic is- I
that
think
he's just
Relic is
busting my
understanding.
balls.
Yes.
And
He's
then
a
I'm
scholar.
going to like
He's a
freaking.
scholar, dude.
Yes,
And
I
my
think
vial,
Relic
same thing, brother. Thank you so
Dude,
much.
because
understanding that
when-
really quickly.
yeah,
I just like the
Yeah,
bus
screw you,
balls,
man.
bro.
Like freaking, I was at one point I was like, what
He's
words
over
did I
here.
freaking use? What did I say that sounded off? Like I don't get what. How am I not getting this through? Like I don't know what I'm saying right now. Like
Nah,
yeah, now
everybody
that
did good. It
I
was a
know
good
that he's just
conversation.
gonna rage bait me into oblivion, I'm gonna relax a little
This
bit
show
more.
is-
Smashes the fucking Spider-Man Lego thing in the back.
Son of a-
Entertaining, that's what I do. I fucking rage bait
Dude,
people.
you're
Straight.
you're a
Good at it, right?
Brazilian, man. You're a Brazilian because that's what Brazilians do
Good,
all
yo.
the time.
You're
D,
Brazil.
D,
Yeah.
D,
Yeah,
D will tell
Brian,
you, bro.
Brian is a Brazilian. I baptize you as a Brazilian right now.
Word. But yeah,
Glad to see
guys,
you, Liz.
I appreciate the show. Vince, everybody, have a good
Yeah.
night, guys. Take it easy. Love you guys. Stay
Later,
home.
Brian. Later, Brian.
Yeah.
Relic, we'll probably call it there.
Dude,
We're about
hold up.
2:45.
The
Only
sound
going
ain't
on 3.
working.
Huh? No way. Your sound got
Here,
cut out.
let me pop in and out. I don't
Yeah,
know
hold on,
why
guys.
that-
So we've been having this problem with StreamYard for a bit, where when someone leaves, Relics or Derpy's sound gets cut off. Brian doesn't happen because Brian's usually here with me by himself, anyways. But yeah, he's gonna come right back in. So you you look Brazilian, by the way. He almost came with I have black friends. That's fucking crazy. What a crazy conversation today. But then again, folks, like something that I stand on business when it comes to this is, again, I just think that as a story writer, when you write a character, it does matter on how that person is raised, because it helps them become better in the concept
I'm
of what
back.
they bring to the table. Are we back, Relic, or can you hear me? Can you
I
hear
look
me?
Brazilian now, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, now you do, because the color is different. The orange is coming more off your skin.
Let me put
Can you
on
hear me?
blackface for the next show. Yeah, I can.
Can you hear me?
I'm gonna do blackface for the next show.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't have to. Just call like your
I
family
need to
members
prove.
that
I
are
need to
black.
prove to everybody I'm Brazilian. Apparently,
Just
dude.
call your
That's crazy.
family members that are black and have them just sit in the background, dude.
No, I'm just gonna tell them I'm cosplaying as them for Halloween.
Yeah. No, but again, it was a good conversation, interesting conversation nonetheless. I understand your approach, because it comes away from the source material, and for me, it cheapens the factor of the character's upbringing, because I think that every culture is different. The easiest thing I've ever heard someone explain this to me was, I saw an interview with Denzel, and he was talking about a film he had made.
Yeah.
And he said, what is the what's a real good reason to have a black director make these films? And he goes, oh, well, he's going to be the only one to understand what a hot comb is.
Yeah, like
Right?
the culture. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a difference of upbringing in these cultures. And I guarantee a black man raised in the time of the 90s or the 80s, or however old Snape is and time frame it is
Mhm.
going to be a different of cultural
well,
upbringing than a white
And
person to a black
and the
person.
current project they're working on.
Mhm.
Working on a period piece. It's not like it when fantasy gets involved, it's a little different, right?
Yeah.
Like you could be of many cultures, and all you need is really perspective and bring other people in, because that's also the point of actors. It's like you want the right actor for the role, also because you envision that actor for this role, because they're gonna bring something to this role that no
Yeah.
other actor can bring, and they're gonna be able to point out your weaknesses as a director, and hopefully you could bring out their strengths.
Yes, of
That's
course.
what a director does, right? So like that one, it totally makes sense. Like you can't, like you could still have a white actor,
Mhm.
a white director making that movie, but there's just something different
Yeah,
It's
because there's
not
going to
going
be
to,
something
yeah.
missing because of their life upbringings and things that they might have missed in that
Yeah, it's
culture.
kind of like Spielberg, like, and they pointed out in that interview where Spielberg, somebody else could have done Schindler's List,
Hmm.
but Spielberg, being involved on it,
Yep.
touched it much more, being Jewish
Yeah,
man
because he
and
had
everything.
personal. That's the
Yeah,
same thing with J.R. Tolkien with the Lord of the Rings. I remember the scene with Christopher Lee when they're talking about he was working
hmm
with when he was working with Jackson, right? And he talks about him getting stabbed in the back. And
yeah,
he talks about the sound that the person made. And I believe it was Christopher Lee that approached him and said, no, 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 that's not the way it sounds.
yeah. He wanted
When you,
Peter Jackson wanted him to yell, and then he's like, Christopher Lee just went up to him. Have you ever killed somebody?
yeah, dude, that's
I could
like,
tell you,
again,
all the air comes out of their lungs. They're not going to say anything.
life experiences have that form of detail to have consistency
Yeah, yeah.
into more relative situations.
No, and
And I
like,
think that's important. I think that's
yeah,
very
and
important.
it's great when it like like it really brings it out and creates a masterpiece, right?
Yeah.
And to what like Amityville, it's not that we're speculating, it's just that we know these directors what they've done in the past. And what I don't want this actor receiving hate. I don't want the race swap either. I want things to stay true
Ellen DeGeneres.
and become something greater than what we've seen. You know what I mean? Like it's just a simple formula. Like you could write something and make it greater, but changing the race of a character just brings you more problems as the person that's gonna direct this show or movie, and it's going to hurt the fans because they're the ones that you're doing this for. Why else do it? Like James Gunn has the same problem. James Gunn has a bigger problem than the Harry Potter show because unlike you and Brian, I actually did enjoy the trailer. I thought Ron was my favorite part of the entire trailer. I liked it when he did the little thing. It was just I thought it was cute. I thought it connected well. I don't think the Harry Potter actor looks much like Harry Potter as the previous actor Daniel Radcliffe, but whatever. It could still be a masterpiece. Like they
Yeah, it
have
could still work.
phenomenal actors. Like I really like the actress for McGonagall, but it's
It
just like
just the way the film
yeah,
looks, it looks like an A24 trailer.
it looks like Zack Snyder who
No,
did the
it just
color
looks like an
grading.
A24. It looks like the hand, the one
Yeah.
that was
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
looks like those kind of films. In the closet, it's like grayish and he's
yeah,
very
yeah,
abused and the long shot down the
yeah.
hallway.
And
It's
like
very like horror film. I don't know how to explain it. It just looks like an A24 trailer. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It's like Harry Potter. Like it's supposed to be like brown candles and very autumnish colors. Like I want to see that old
mm,
elegance of like wizard esque vibes that gives me the concept that it's magical. And it literally just looks like it's just gonna be fucking I don't know Halloween 2.0 in England or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's, it just doesn't. It didn't. I
Yeah,
don't know.
like it honestly what it made me want to do was watch the original Harry Potter movies.
Don't do it because you're gonna break your heart.
No, I think I'm gonna be happy. Like I'm a fan, and I get like not every fan thinks the same. Like Amityville, like you're not heard about it. That's cool. You're not heard about it.
Yeah.
But I also like I like writing. I enjoy things. I it's not that I only need copy and paste. You know what I mean? But originally, like what their promise was, is we're going to do a story that's one for one from the books. We're not going to um, add anything. And then now they race swap. They said they're gonna make it as faithful to the books as humanly possible. Race swapping already changed that out. And then they are adding things to the story that was never part of their story in the first place. It's their perspective, and we're supposed to be watching this as the perspective of Harry. I don't. I think you could have done episodes from a different character's perspective of what's going on, but overall, we're no. I know they talk about that, but they talked about the bullying in school, but it wasn't like a huge part. Like it wasn't a focus in the books. And yeah, I'm Petunia cutting his hair, but like
This
I'm
chick
talking
just
about like
looks
the
like
acting. I'm not talking about like the actual scene.
this chick
And
just
like,
looks like someone
yeah.
that's in Stranger Things.
Well, like yeah, she does look like some of Stranger Things. Like she doesn't seem like the character we get not only from the movies but in the book of something that's like pompous, high class British. that wants to look always perfect and seem like the perfect family, all that stuff. You know, there's like specific hairstyles that those people wear, specific clothing, um, like the glasses. You know, Aunt Petunia didn't wear glasses, and maybe I'm wrong. This isn't even Aunt Petunia, but from the scene of her cutting hair, it's Aunt Petunia.
Look, there's the Weasley girl.
Yeah, and his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, and that's the benefit of this show. Maybe they'll actually give the Weasley girl some character.
Yeah, the Weasley sister or whatever. Maybe they'll blow her up a little bit.
Nothing in the movies, dude.
Yeah, she's very
A
insignificant.
lot of distractions that doesn't.
Is that
feel,
Malfoy? Is this Malfoy?
Yeah, like just his haircut that doesn't feel. And it's
It
not
looks
my
like an
perspective.
Edgar cut, dude.
Well, it doesn't feel like it's the time period that Harry Potter's.
This guy
No,
looks
dude,
exactly
it's
like the
Lord
Dumbledore.
Farquaad, man. It's Lord Farquaad.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Well, he looks like fucking the actual Dumbledore guy.
I think he looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
The
he
hat
looks
is a little
fantastic.
weird. The hat makes him look Jewish, but I think he looks phenomenal.
Yeah, man. Well, that's Harry Potter for you. But yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna see my way out, man. I gotta go do some stuff before I get to rest. Relic, what do you got planned this week?
In terms of YouTube,
Anything?
oh, well, I'm still working on some things, still working on some projects, but I'm almost to 100 subscribers on YouTube. So that's
Congratulations,
awesome.
bro.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, I
And
think
where
we're
we
at 107, but yeah, we've been there for a minute. But
Yeah.
congratulations, brother.
No, thanks, man. And I'm taking it a little more seriously. I'll be hopefully live streaming every day this week.
Good shit, man.
And
Good
I
shit.
just talk to the chat. I hang out, react to videos, tell my life experience and perspectives. You know,
Mm.
I tell funny stories about how like the first time I got stabbed, or like what like
Is that like
happened when I
multiple?
worked
Are you
at
saying
Walmart.
there's multiple times you got stabbed?
Yeah,
Like, you
but
fucking
not
make it sound like it's just like a chill out. Yeah, man. It's
like,
pretty
well,
chill.
like I didn't. It wasn't deep, so it was fine. Like,
It's a
it
stab
wasn't-
wound. It doesn't need to be deep. I get poked with a needle and I freak the fuck out, dude.
No, like I remember.
You don't
I
gotta
still
get-
freak out with the needle, dude.
Yeah,
But like
you don't gotta
getting
freak
stabbed
out.
is actually pretty quick. It happens pretty quick, so there's like a lot of adrenaline involved. It hurts like hell, but I haven't gotten stabbed that much. Like my brother-
Good. I'm
my
glad
brother
you fucking.
like my brother got stabbed way more than I did. Like
Yeah, I'm
by
glad
a
you haven't
lot.
been stabbed much. This shouldn't be like a thing we look forward to.
Yeah, and again, only happened here in the U.S., not in Brazil.
Yeah, the U.S. is kind of crazy, but yeah, I get it.
Like when I moved here, my dad, I was 5 years old. I was going to kindergarten. My dad grabbed my face and he's like, "All right, when somebody's got a gun to your face, this is what you do. This is how you know. This is the look in their eye they're gonna give you if you know that, and you'll feel it. You'll know if they're gonna kill you." And that's
And then
when
he
you learn.
stabbed you?
My dad?
Yeah, no, what the fuck? What are you telling me? about your
No,
dad?
my dad was just telling me this at 5 years old, and my mom's just looking at him like, "Dude, we're in America." And he just looks at her like, "So."
You guys got a wild version of America, man. I'm fucking 43. I haven't been stabbed.
Dude, and we
yet,
were
man.
in Utah, bro.
Yeah,
No, like-
Utah, and that's like the Mormon capital of the world, bro.
Yeah, no, and
You're
like
getting stabbed by Mormons, dude.
by.
Yo, you want to hear about John
there's
Smith?
actually a
Whack,
lot of
dude.
there's a lot of
Whack, whack,
Bloods
whack,
and
John
Crips.
Smith.
There's a lot of Bloods and Crips in Utah, dude. It's
Yeah, apparently Mormon ones. That's crazy as shit.
no, but like my, and I went back as a teenager to Brazil, but like we didn't have a lot of dangerous situations. Just my dad, like his upbringing. You know, I talk about
Your
him a
dad out
lot.
there just fucking throwing gang signs on the top of the house,
Yeah,
and
dude,
he's like, "Yo, I got a kid. Fuck that kid up, Mormons." Mormons are like, "Yo, you can get this shit, dude." Like, we were in the Battle of New York or whatever they talk about in their
Yeah.
books.
No,
Just what's
like,
up? Yeah, Mormons are crazy, dude. And my vibe was like, Mormons are crazy. They're hard, dude. They're hard. No,
Yeah,
I
dude,
get it, bro. I'm fucking
Mormons
sorry
are
that happened.
tough
Yeah, I'm
dudes.
I mean, I know it's your trauma. I'm not trying to fuck with you, but
No,
yeah,
you're
that's
good.
crazy as fuck, though.
No, like my dad, like he would be like, "Oh, the like he would tell me like all the time his story about when he was a kid, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was hanging with the wrong crowd, drug dealers, whatever, and then I found God, and you know I quit drinking, all that stuff." I'm like, "Oh yeah, how old were you when you quit drinking?" He's like, "I was 10." Like he started drinking when he was 4, man. I'm just like, "All right, dude."
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
No, Utah is awesome. It's just like if you go like all the way to the west, like there's the good thing about Utah, like I'm here in Florida, you can make a turn here in Florida in a nice neighborhood and then all of a sudden you're in a ghetto. In Utah, it's like it's a grid system, so you know exactly where you are. Like it will look like crap. And yeah, we moved to really good spots, but the school district was garbage. And so yeah, and we eventually moved to another part in Utah, and it was cookies and cream there. It was awesome.
Nice, dude.
Utah's great.
Well, good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Well, I hope you're not getting stabbed now in Florida. I hope you're good. Like, I hope your week goes
There's
well.
been a few close
less
calls.
stabbings.
There's been a few close calls, man. Women
Yeah,
here
yeah,
are
yeah. Then
crazy,
stay away from
man.
people with guns and knives and
Yeah.
shit. Like, just be cool, man. I like Legos. Like,
Dude, and it happened when I had the Lego store, man. Like
Jesus Christ, dude.
like there was a time where like this guy wanted to fight one of my employees and I was away, and he called me and I went over. And,
Yeah, never go to Utah.
And my employee was carrying as well.
Yeah, okay.
And like this guy, like he was like 45, probably maybe 50s, and he lives with his mom. Like this guy was insane. He just didn't like the price we were gonna give him for his old Legos, and we're like, dude, we don't. This stuff sucks. Like
Yeah, he's just a cunt.
the
Yeah.
stuff that you like suck. Like you want all architecture stuff, it doesn't sell in our spot. And he was ready to throw hands, man. And there was kids in the store, and I had to be like,
Fucking hate
yo.
it.
Like we're adults. Why are we doing this, man? Like I'm not going to jail for you. I got kids of my own. I'm not doing this.
Yep.
It's insane. West side of San Antonio. I'm fine with ghetto versus crazy white people.
That's funny.
I think
Yeah,
they're
well, I
both
hope
crazy.
you have a safe week, dude. Don't go doing crazy stuff, man. Just stick to.
No, it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I still
yeah.
need to get back to find a new jiu-jitsu gym though.
Do your best, bro. Do your
If
best.
you were here, it'd be easy.
100%, brother. 100%. I'd have your back. I ain't there though, but we'll bring you down to the valley one day. For me, we got fight camp, so we're in it at the gym, Combat Sports Institute in Mission.
Do you guys do like full fights or are
100%. Yeah, we have one
okay.
guy getting ready for amateur MMA cage fighting, and one of my other kids, 15, just got into boxing. So we're just waiting on the opportunity to get him in the boxing ring.
Dude, I
Other than
wanna
that,
try,
kickboxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, everything, we do it all, man.
I want to try an amateur fight.
I teach,
MMA
Vile.
fight.
I teach at Combat Sports Institute in Mission. If you want to go by, we get a week for free. Classes are 12 to 2 kickboxing and striking elements. Then it's 5 o'clock 6 kids, 6 to 7 teens, 7 to 8 adults jiu-jitsu, 8 to 9 striking. So come through. You get a week for free. Mission on Sherry Road, 1 mile south of the expressway. Yeah, back in the day in Copperwood. I remember you telling me last time, man. Oh, you're in Austin. Oh, shit. Dang. Austin, though. Austin. I might know a couple gyms, man. If you give me like a week. I know a friend of mine used to train at B Team, but Marco, who used to do Capoeiras back in the day, he lives in Austin. So I can probably get you hooked up with him, bro. So I'll help you up, Val. Actually-
you should train at B Team if you're gonna do jujitsu. They have
Yeah,
like,
well, that's the gym he's a part
yeah.
of, but it's not B Team
Oh,
anymore.
nice. Yeah, what did they change to?
I can't remember, dude. Yeah. Let's see. Marco Marshall. Yeah, here we go. Marco. Here we go. Yeah, if you have Instagram, I'm gonna put it up right now. Let me put it up right now. His Instagram, so that way you can at least follow him. This is my boy Marco Marsh Jiu-Jitsu out of Austin, Texas. He trains at the $1 Million Team.
Okay, why did they change it?
They had a lot of problems with one of the guy, and yeah,
it
it
the
didn't go
brother?
so hot. Simple man martial arts. This is the one that he goes to.
Wait, who did they have trouble with?
J Rod.
I thought he was just already like he was out and it was just like B Team.
Yeah, but they didn't want to be associated with him with B Team because B Team was part of
Don't they plan on having him back
huh?
at some point? Don't they plan on having him back at some
No,
point?
fuck no, dude. He was taking girls' photos and putting them through AI to put them like in bad stuff, and they found out. So
No, I followed a little bit of what he was doing. Like
yeah, he's just doing. They just got rid of him, and it's not good to keep that in your gym, especially
Yeah.
something of that nature, because he can be all like, "I'm sorry" or whatever, but it's never going to change the fact that he did it to the prime students.
Yeah, but he's also gonna be able to see them because his brother is the head of the gym.
But yeah, that guy's not the head of the gym no more.
Oh, Nicky Rod is not.
Yeah, they're not involved. Like that's the same thing with Atos, but Atos is failing because Galvao's still a part of it, I think. But yeah, if you can, bro, add up Marco Marshall in Austin, Vile, and yeah, bud, hit him up. Tell him you're friends with Chris Ponce, and yeah, man, he'll hook you up. Nah, you're not gonna break your arm, bro. if you're, I want people that are well trained, not break my. Marco is one of the sweetest motherfucking dudes on the planet. Like, if he's doing it, I know they'll take care of you, 100%. I know this for sure. You just got to trust it. Just got to trust it and just try it. Go in there, let them know you're a beginner, and yeah, man, you're gonna be fine. I agree. Like, I don't want you to get hurt either. So again, guys, I got fight week and I got some shit I need to do.
Yeah, man.
Probably go buy some drugs or doing some crazy shit or whatever. I don't know what I need to do. I got errands before I got to go to bed. But I appreciate you. Emma Vile, thank you so much for jumping in the comments, man. We love you, man. Thank you. Vince, appreciate you. Liz, also, you know, David, all the guys that jumped in today. We appreciate all of you guys. Relic, thank you so much. Brian, too, for jumping in wherever Brian is. He's probably asleep. Yeah, we'll see you guys again here on the Average Boys podcast next Sunday. Thank you to our extraordinary listeners. We appreciate every one of you. And we'll see you guys again here next Sunday, baby. Whoa! Yeah. Next Sunday.
And I'll try to be less racist.
Please, right? Yeah, please.
Well, I'm not saying I'll succeed. I'll say I'll try.
Yeah, he's just trying. You just wear a shirt with it. Oh, you guys are crazy,
well, I got
dude.
Daredevil. I don't know if you guys saw the Daredevil shirt.
Yeah, we'll have to check that. We'll have to check. Oh, Daredevil. I like that shirt. Holy shit, I didn't even see it. Dope. All right, boys. Laters.
Peace out.